largely moved on to
Yo.
how I would actually be really interested to see a split off the course.
Yeah.
As a separate entity that can just be scrappy and not have to have the same kinds of margins.
be scrappy,
their stock
motherfuckers.
tanks or whatever else, and just focus on.
You want to be scrappy?
because
Be like me.
Those guys are passionate.
Oh yeah.
They're passionate.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are working with NVIDIA on a sponsored video that is going to be upgrading our worst setups. Our worst setup. So we had people at the company submit their
Personal rig setups or work PC setups?
There are some. You're gonna see some stuff. Personal setups. Not everybody owns a vacuum. Apparently. I don't know that for sure, but what I will say is I didn't see one, and I didn't see evidence of one existing.
I feel like there should be 2 videos.
Anywho,
One of them should just be reacting and judging to the systems.
The point is, I was on my way to that shoot. I forget how I got onto this topic, and I was talking to Dennis about the creative leads, and I hadn't seen anything that was on YouTube because I watched full thing.
One quick thing: the LTT Pro hat in the pictures has holes.
Oh, okay.
Or it has the circles. I don't know if it actually passes through. But I'm seeing on multiple people.
Maybe it just does have holes then. Maybe that's a thing. Either way, it is definitely
a layer of something under it because those might be structural.
It is definitely made of the water-resistant material, so make it that way you will.
Yeah.
Here, I'm just gonna look at. Yeah. It has the holes. Okay, there you go.
I can actually even see through it.
I wonder why it has holes.
Yeah, I can definitely see through this one.
Yep. All right. Yep, it definitely has holes, but it is made of water-resistant material. All right. Where was I going with the story about? Oh yeah. Anyway, well, NVIDIA's back, so they are sponsoring a video upgrading our worst setup, and yeah, you guys are going to see some stuff. The person who I'm talking about will know who they are, and is going to watch this. I know that for a fact. So, you know, I didn't want to touch anything when I was there. Yeah, they're definitely gonna watch this. Don't say anything though, because the video's gonna start with us meeting all of the finalists, and then it'll go from there. And all I know so far is that I've seen all the finalists. I have seen all the setups. But we're gonna film probably on Tuesday. We're gonna film announcing to them who is going to be getting the setup upgrade. Elijah, LMAO, everyone's saying it's me. It's not, I promise. I will say this much. It is not
Another merch message?
Yeah, hit me. I don't even remember what that question was. Sticker's bad.
I'm spotted, taking fire.
Basically. Okay.
Oh yeah,
right. Wow. I either have a gift or a problem.
I'm enabling you to be perfectly honest.
it can be both.
Many businesses in the tech sector seem to be planning to sell.
I have no more ammo. Someone kill this guy. Kill this guy. He's hurt.
Subsection of the
He's
market,
broke.
high-end leisure products.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, as far as I can tell, the point of starting a business is to make money. And the best way to make money is to find some sucker with a lot of money and take it off their hands for them.
That's like how, yeah, that is the goal in software. Generally.
I mean, that's the goal in basically anything that's not mom and pop. And I feel like, I mean, I wasn't around when it was any different, but I feel like it wasn't always like that. Like the point of running a business was to serve your customers and make money, but not make more than you make necessarily by just selling to someone else. But part of it is, like, it seems to be driven both ways. I've talked about this before, but I have that friend who's a vet who bought the practice that she worked at and ended up bidding against a large veterinary acquisition company. And so it seems to be a push-pull, right? Because on the one hand, you've got people whose sole goal when they created their business was to sell it for as much as possible. But then you've also got these acquisition companies who exist only to acquire other businesses, not to create anything. And, you know, that can sometimes lead to really tragic results, because someone who wasn't there and didn't build it with their sweat, blood, and tears is not necessarily going, I shouldn't say not, is never going to treat something with the same respect as someone who did. And you see this time and time again. Warner Brothers, getting into our next topic here, shut down Rooster Teeth. Now, I want to kind of preface this with saying I didn't really consume Rooster Teeth content. I didn't follow any of the controversies that have taken place. I don't know if they were resolved and everything was cool, or if they were not resolved. So there could be a myriad of reasons why Rooster Teeth shut down. But what we know for sure is Warner Brothers has shut them down. At least 150 full-time employees will lose their jobs.
Whoa.
And many of Rooster Teeth's existing properties will either be sold or transferred elsewhere within its parent company. Warner Brothers hasn't been the only controversial move that Warner Brothers has made recently. Warner Brothers is also delisting an unknown number of game titles originally published by another subsidiary, Adult Swim, according to several of the game's developers. Michael Mugnani? I think this might be a typo in the doc, but anyway, the creator of Sound Dodger Plus says he begged his Warner Bros. Rep to transfer ownership of the game to him on Steam rather than remove it, since, seeing as he still owned the IP and the game rights. And this is a quote: "I sent him a link to Steam's transfer page and explained clearly that it takes literally 3 clicks to transfer the ownership to me. He rejected my request." So the problem with this is not that it necessarily affects the ability of the game to still be available. He can relist it himself because he owns the rights, which is really great, but he loses anyone who ever wishlisted the game. He loses all of the reviews of the game, the historical reviews of the game. Another dev, Owen Deary, responded by offering a free download of his game, Small Radios, Big Televisions, on his website, rather than have it completely disappear. So our discussion question is, why would Warner Bros. Release these games rather than just leaving them alone? The only thing that I can possibly guess, that's one possible option. Speaking of seamless transitions into other topics, I definitely have some more to say about tax write-offs and tax deductions later on the show, because anyway, it's a whole thing this week from the We Read Mean comments video. But that's one potential option. Another one is they just don't want to fund development of these and make sure that they don't have any security potential liability. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine a mindset where you have something that is, as far as I can tell, completely passive. Requires no input from you whatsoever and generates any amount of revenue, however small, and just going, you know what, I'll just turn that off. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Does anyone have any additional context for this? Floatplane chat, anyone?
I don't think so. I also don't think, I think it's fairly accepted that games, especially single-player games, they're not going to get security updates past a certain point, and kind of who cares?
One dev, according to Anahekaj, was told that he could relist the game if he removed everyone in Adult Swim games from the credits. What?
Weird.
I don't get it.
Very weird.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I saw you kind of Googling Rooster Teeth. Were you checking if their controversies were resolved, or what were you
Oh,
up to
I
there?
looked that up. They like fired somebody for something, and there's some
okay.
other stuff. But they've existed for so long that there's like been stuff over the years. It seems like they've mostly resolved.
You and me.
This is what I
Let's
was
take
more
this
recently
week.
looking at.
Oh, Adult Swim Games. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Robot Unicorn Attack, one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
The Rick and Morty games, there's a few of them in here. Rick and Morty's a virtual game thingy.
Yeah.
And Pocket Morty's.
What else are we looking at?
Oh.
Recognize
I don't recognize most.
We have no idea exactly
I
how
had
many
no idea there was a Robot Unicorn Attack 2.
being delisted. Is it any good?
I don't know. I'll be able to know now.
Ring console there.
I don't
Let's
see
land there.
number 2 on Steam right now. In fact, I don't
May
see
your
any
bullets
Robot
hit their
Unicorn
marks,
Attack on Steam
and
right
not
now.
me.
Is it already pulled?
I don't think the first one was ever on Steam.
Oh, okay.
This isn't a list of their games that are on Steam. This is just a list.
Gonna
Got it.
scrounge for loot over there.
Well, where do you buy it?
The first one you didn't buy. It was just a free web game.
Oh, okay. Robot Unicorn Attack 2 is on mobile. Oh. So maybe it's just like a mobile port that's not really a 2, or I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I just got an angle. Moving there.
But yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Anytime
The
this
battle
kind of
happens
stuff
quick.
happens,
Be
it
ready.
sucks. I like physical media. Physical media is good. Now,
Gotta
if
have
it's
a
physical
heavy
media
here.
that just like links you to a thing that you have to download,
Next ring
is
spot.
Supply in here.
irrelevant. Doesn't matter. But
Why they gotta hide the
real
good
physical
stuff?
media is good.
Got some extra supplies.
Okay, 150 people working for
Gonna track down
Rooster
some loot
Teeth.
here.
That's a lot.
A minute till the
Does
ring
seem like
closes,
kind
and
of a
it's
lot.
walk.
How many
A
shows
long
and
walk
stuff
to
do they
you.
have? I know they have their own dedicated website, so that'll be a chunk of it.
I'm really not sure. I don't know what the
45 seconds.
I don't know
ring
what the
spot.
revenue model
kill leader.
was.
Good. Standing taller will make you
Full
your
Screen,
spot.
which in turn was bought by Otter Media before Rooster Teeth became part of Warner Media under AT&T's ownership in 2022.
over there?
Discovery closed the acquisition of Warner Media to form Warner Bros.
Whoa.
Discovery. Okay, so it's changed hands a lot. What's up?
Whoa, I don't really know how this works, but I went to Rooster Teeth's website and
Backpack
clicked on
here.
shows,
Level 2.
and this is a lot of stuff.
Oh wow, okay.
Phoenix kit
So
here.
is this stuff that people
Oh,
are
it's still
watching?
Loading. Wow. I don't know how to
Hit the
tell
ejector
that.
seat.
Apparently, in addition to the 150 employees, there's also like tons of contractors and stuff too that are getting the boot.
Outside
I know
the
at
ring
one
is where
point
the
they were
stupid
like
die. Let's get
killing it
inside.
with their own streaming
Yes.
service. Like they had like tens of thousands of subscribers, like monthly subscribers and stuff like that.
I'm upgraded
This is
and
actually just
ready
getting
to
too
jam.
ridiculous. I'm wondering like how many episodes all these things have.
Optics here. Sniper.
And is
I
this
need a
actually all
heavy
made by
gun if
them?
I can
Like,
find
wow.
one.
Flatline here.
Well,
A
how
lot of
old
stuff
is
is
Yes,
this
I'll
stuff?
take
Click
that.
something. Like, yeah,
I
what's
need
that?
it.
How,
Four
when,
episodes.
when's the last
Feels
time
good
this
to
got
make
an
attention.
update?
4 seasons.
Ultimate accelerator
Okay,
here.
play latest episode.
Let's
2016.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Ooh, not a single comment. That's not a good indicator. Well, okay. Yeah, people are saying it seems like at some point Rooster Teeth had the mindset of greenlighting just about anything and seeing what sticks. Arbiter K says, if LMG sells, please sell to good people and not to a Warner Bros. Type. And that, I think, brings us full circle back around to the point that I was trying to make as I transitioned into this topic, that there is nobody who would buy LMG who would treat it the way that we did.
Mira,
And
survey
it's
beacon over
possible
there.
that we could find someone pretty good. I think that the party that made an acquisition offer, was it last year or the year before, they seemed pretty good. They were pretty darn close
Jump
to
pad
what
there.
we would be looking for if we were to do something like that. But I think, as you guys have seen, we didn't do that, and instead we've made significant reinvestments in the future, and we're sticking around whether you like it or not. So get over it.
Yeah. Something taxes. Are we done this topic or no?
Oh, we can talk about taxes, sure.
Do you want to talk about taxes? Oh, there's more stuff, and no, there isn't. Never mind.
Yeah, we can talk about taxes.
All right, what's up?
So
Care package over there. Let's get on that.
in our
These
line,
mics are taxed right now.
Listen up, I'm calling a lifeline
Basically
package
free.
in.
actually, I think they provided these mics. I don't think they're right off at all.
We have to break them for them to become a
Extended light
tax
mag
write-off.
here.
These mic
Level
stands
3.
are tax
I'll
right
use
now.
that.
Okay.
Basically free.
So just a second. Can you
Backpack here.
just relax for a
Level
minute?
Save that for me.
In the Linus Reads Meme comments video,
He's shaking. It's vibrating.
I ended up
Heavy ammo
going
here.
off
Light ammo
a little
here.
bit at the end of the video
Yeah.
because Elijah put up not one but many
Light
comments
ammo
from
here.
people
Yes.
talking about how, you know, whatever, Linus just does whatever he does because it's a tax write-off. It's
True.
a tax write-off.
Yep. True.
And so I basically was like, okay, I need a money. I need a money, and I got a fake $100 bill. I even said it was fake in the video. The number of people that didn't realize it was fake.
How could you rip
Stop.
that? You're so rich, you can
And-
just rip money? Oh,
You are not helping. So I was like, okay, let's say I made $100 and I ripped
should
it in
set up to
half to
defend here.
demonstrate that
Tax.
by the time you pay corporate income tax, personal income
Someone out
tax,
there.
Open
and it
supply
doesn't
bin over
quite
there.
work like that because I don't have to pay both personal income tax and corporate income tax. I either pay personal income tax and the company doesn't pay tax on the revenue, or I pay corporate income tax and then pay out a shareholder
my eyes
dividend
on that
that
vector.
works out about the same.
Echo and
So-
I'll tag along.
Whatever. So by the time you
Hostile over
pay
there.
income tax to get it into my own hands and the various, you know, other taxes that we deal with around here, sales tax and whatever, we're down to about half by the time I actually get the money and use it for anything. And then I explained that if I use it to buy something, say for example a slate, like a video slate, then I spend $50 on that. Okay, now I have a slate. And then I still have to rip the remainder in half, and I get only $25 of my $100 to actually use
Next
and
ring's
do
far.
anything with
Hold your
personally.
tongue. We've got a hike.
Extended
Most
supply
people,
bin here.
it seems like,
Oh, why they
followed
evac
along
tower
pretty
over
well.
here.
But one of the comments was accusing me
I'll dig
of
here.
using my
Extend
pool
first.
as a tax write-off.
You
Why
did.
they gotta hide the good stuff?
Replicator incoming.
Okay,
Could have used one of these.
explain
drawers.
to me
Supply bin here.
Yeah.
This is
Why
not
they gotta hide
financial
the good
advice.
stuff?
How I can use my pool as a tax write-off.
You use it for work events. It's in videos.
Come and get
Optics
your
here.
birthday present.
Mid-range.
Do you have any idea how far the CIA would kick my rectum up into my body if I tried to write off my pool
Evac tower over
on my
here.
taxes?
Used for work events. Very specifically for video, multiple videos, really.
I mean, your house could be just an entire tax write-off. We've shot videos at it before.
1
Yeah.
minute and the rings of stones.
We could
I
be
need a
making
standard
money.
stock.
You guys are actually behaving like ignorant viewers right now. That's what you guys are doing right now.
That's the goal.
I hate you so much, both of you.
This will maybe
45
make you
seconds,
feel
rings just
better.
over here.
Some people
Hammer
said
point.
that you didn't say that it was fake, and I had people go look at it. You did say it was fake.
Yeah,
We gotta check out
I
here.
know I said it was fake. Of course I said it was fake.
Confirmed.
I'm not gonna admit to a felony offense on camera. I'm not that
Not
stupid.
far from the ring.
Like
Half a
writing
minute.
off your pool.
Like writing off my pool. So I just wanna back up a little bit here. The number of people that think, because people did point out
Got
that
some extra supplies.
what I said was an oversimplification. Linus, you don't have $50
I'm going that way. Come if you want.
10
and
seconds, the
taxes,
ring's just
or
ahead.
$25
Half the
and
squad doesn't
taxes.
survive,
You
despite
have
their best efforts.
$25 and a slate,
No kill leader.
and you paid some taxes, and you paid half
Thought
as
you
much tax.
said that.
I did. But what they seem to have a hard time with is that I do not have a slate.
The company does,
Linus Media Group Incorporated
Keeping a lookout over
has
there.
a slate.
which he owns.
I don't need a slate though. I can't eat a slate.
Huh?
I can't drive a slate, I can't swim in
Care
a slate.
package coming
You
down.
could definitely drive a
Replenish
slate.
the stores.
So Linus Media Group Incorporated should own the pool in your car.
Second thought. Target
Because,
there, level 3
and
shield.
so I will.
You can rent it from the company.
Praise
No,
tag.
you have a subsidiary
Shield.
corporation
Over
which
here.
you
Follow
own
me.
that rents it from Linus Media Group that then is paid for by Linus Media Group. So it's like infinite money.
If there was actually an infinite money glitch, everyone would use it. And all of this is going to vary depending on your tax jurisdiction. But what I can tell you guys about ours is that no, not every meal I eat is a tax write-off.
Shatter the praise shield.
No, not
I wouldn't visit
everything that I own is a tax write-off. That's actually not how it works. Now,
Right there.
I will say this.
Half in the bag.
If we were to use the pool for a shoot,
Okay.
what I could do...
Oh yeah, like a portion, whatever.
What I could do is, if I were to set up a separate business entity, or I the person were to what's it called? If I were just to operate as like an independent contractor and I were to reconcile all of this on my annual like personal taxes and everything, what I could do is I, the owner of the pool, who paid for it with after-tax money, could make an invoice for the company, billing the company to rent our pool as a location for a shoot, and then the company could pay me, and then I could report that income, and then I could pay my income tax on that. That is a way that I could
30 seconds left and the ring's
subsidize
closed.
the construction of the pool.
Recharging shield.
Charging up my
But
shield.
I could, no, I could.
It's possible.
Kind of like how if you have
Isn't
a
it
house,
bad, though?
if you have a house, you can write off part of your either your mortgage or the interest on your mortgage, or like you can write off part of your house expense if you have a certain square footage that you use as an office space.
That's what I do.
Yes, that's totally legit as long as you're actually using it for work, for like a revenue generating enterprise.
You put down a percentage of how much you use it in a year.
But folks,
Yo, we should def check out that.
There's some good ideas in Twitch chat.
They're not here to sell me
cool. Twitch, do we really need more hot tub streams? Okay, is that really what you want?
Level 2 shields right here. Whole pack is alive.
Oh, hot tub super checks.
Like after someone scores,
So yeah, some people seem to understand that while that was an oversimplification, that is basically how it works. And there's a lot of regulations that dictate what I'm allowed to write off and what I'm not allowed to write off. For example, the EV chargers that we have here at the office. If I install them in a parking stall that is designated for my use, I cannot expense those. And I cannot participate in any subsidies.
what if you did for Terran?
No. However, if they are for general reuse of the employees, then hold on. Hold on. Let me just do this separate. If it is for my personal use, then it counts as a taxable benefit. That's right.
Yeah.
So a taxable benefit is something that the company
way,
pays
let's go.
for, but that you, the employee, still have to pay personal tax on. So if I were to, as the business owner, install an EV charger in a stall
Let's go there.
that only I can use, then any money of the use of that charger and the electricity use counts as a taxable benefit for me that I have to declare on my personal taxes and pay tax on, even though the company never actually gave me any cash. So that's the kind of loophole closing that they do to make it so that I can't have Luke, who makes $10,000 a year, so he only has to pay like
We're back to NCX.
0 income tax, which would be nice, and then I just give him $40,000 a year in Costco gift cards and $10,000 a year in Cineplex gift cards
Wow.
and $10,000 a year in Steam gift cards,
Wow.
right? He would
I've got weird priorities.
anything that has a cash equivalency, he would have to pay income tax on. You can't just pay people in gift cards and vacations. And like, ah, we figured out the system. We beat the system. Whereas there is a carve out here in BC anyway. If we install an EV charger that is for anyone to use and does not belong to, is not in like a designated parking stall, then nobody has to count as a taxable benefit. Anyone can use it, and you just essentially get to charge for free on the the company pays for it, but the company gets to write off our energy usage because that's not money we made. You don't pay income tax on money you didn't make. Right? So we write off the taxes, and then they don't have to pay income tax. So it's optimization, but no one's able to avoid paying taxes outright unless you are doing something either very clever or very illegal. And so if you were to say, well, yeah, but Linus could just expense his car because he could write off his car because he shoots videos with it in it once in a while, and he could write off his pool because they shoot videos once in a while, yeah, you could also walk into a grocery store and fucking take everything in it. You could, but if anyone catches you, then it's going to be a problem.
Return the shopping
No,
trolley.
if you took everything in it, you would exceed the.
Got a mark in my sights. Right here.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Groceries are really.
that's okay. That's
You know why life sucks? Because we can't expense our pools.
Target here, and they're healing.
Margarine Dynamo says, NT.
Duck
Margarine Dynamo says,
at Linus,
GGS.
During the WAN show, you talked about potentially buying a Samsung The Wall. Luke said it's stupid for anyone to pay that much for a TV, and you said it's not going to be that much because you will make some videos to subsidize the cost. Statements like this make it seem like you're buying expensive things and using making videos as a way of subsidizing the cost. I am.
Yeah. That's
Even
not
if I have to
tax
pay,
write-offs. That's
even
a
if
totally
I,
different thing.
yeah, even if I have to pay tax on the income, if I get content out of it, I'm gonna make money on the content.
That's super above board.
Yeah, that's fine.
The government actually really wants you to do that.
Yeah.
They want more money to move around, because when more money moves around, more taxes move around.
That's like the whole point of the economy, is to buy things.
Yeah.
Elijah, bro, he wouldn't have bought the 115-inch TV if he couldn't make a fucking video. Guys, 99% of the tech that I acquire is to make a video. The camera that you are watching this through, the laptop in front of me,
Weird,
this stream deck.
Weird fun fact,
Yeah.
his house was less of a tech disaster
Can't make an
back
omelet
when
without
we
breaking a
didn't
few
make videos.
spines,
about
eh?
it.
Yeah, because I just...
It was like actually fine and everything worked. And he even had like, you'd have like a controller die and he'd be like, I have a solution for this. I have the world's biggest battery charger and 17 envelopes and we can just immediately solve the problem. And there was like, everything worked all the time. And everything was fine. And then now he makes videos about it. And
the problem is that other people who don't have to live there work on the videos.
okay. I mean, that makes sense.
And so...
But see, you wouldn't have to do that if you
Yes.
didn't do this whole thing, but the content's good, so you do it anyways.
I do it on purpose. I suffer for you. I legitimately love new tech and I love tinkering around with things, and it's not like we're not doing things that I'm approving or are my idea in the first place, but a lot of what we do is done the way that we do it because who else would do it that way? I did not need to use solar panels and server heat to augment my pool heating. That's stupid.
There's a lot of other ways to do it.
If I
Cheaper.
way cheaper, way easier, I could have just put air conditioning in. In fact, I have air conditioning capacity for that room. I choose not to use it. A, because I feel like it's pretty stupid to air condition in the winter when you could just move the heat through much more energy efficient means. Okay?
Next ring is not
you know,
close.
Cool.
yeah.
I like it.
And B, because that's lame.
Rings far and it's closing on us in a
You
minute.
could put a water cooling loop in your server room.
Crafting. Do not
So yes,
bloody just do.
if you have a conspiracy theory that I do things on hard mode just because it's hard mode and because it's more
See
fun
the
that
light down
way,
here? Level 2.
The ring is
You're
over
right.
yonder.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
45 seconds.
See the light down here? Level 2.
The amount of times we've been like, here's a video idea. It will be a banger. He's like, oh. 2 weeks ago. Like, oh, okay. All right.
oh man, it's great. Oh, sponsor. Oh yeah, speaking of tax write-offs, let's write off this message from our sponsor, AG1.
Extra supplies over here.
No one likes. I'm just gonna say everything's right. What the
Whoa!
f am I even watching right now?
Whoa.
No one likes swallowing
Why is that
things
one just beating you in
that
the
they
head?
don't find tasty.
Oh wow.
Like a lot of things.
Wow. Wow.
AG1 is an all-in-one supplement and easy to drink. It has 75 different vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and it's made to help you focus, give you a boost of energy, and promote gut health. All you need is 1 scoop a day. A few members here at LMG have tried or even use AG1 daily. Maria, our thumbnail artist, who by the way did an awesome exclusive over on Floatplane.
Oh.
You know what, I'll show it after. She's been
Now let's
drinking
get some
AG1 for
upgrade.
over a year, even before they partnered with us. She likes to mix it in her smoothie as her breakfast. And they have over 37,000 5-star reviews from people like Maria and a
Attention.
90-day
Delivering
money
care
back
package.
guarantee. So try AG1 and get a
upgraded and
free
ready to jump.
1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/wanshow. We're going to have that linked down below. All right, we're going to take a short break from sponsors real quick here to promote our own stuff. Oh, dang it. I clicked the wrong thing. One moment, please. Okay, check this out. This is a really great exclusive over on Floatplane.
I have this opened in an extra tab at home, but I haven't actually.
Maria shares funny thumbnail drawings by our writers. So she's responsible for what you guys see. By the way, she's wearing one of my favorite hoodies right now, the Dropout.
Dropout hoodie, yeah.
But we often provide her with guidance.
Oh, I'm so excited.
In order to, because a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? In order to give her some idea of what exactly it is that we expect for the final thumbnail. So she did this, she did such a great job with this video of showing our version versus what she ultimately creates. And I think probably the worst ones are mine,
Oh,
unfortunately.
wow, that's amazing.
Except cables on the sides. Pretty much across the board, they're awful.
I love the one of them has a triangle mouth and the other one just has a line.
Yeah.
Moon Riley. Wow.
Oh man.
Oh, it's a phone.
Barrel
Okay.
stabilizer
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Oh, this is for the moonshot thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's your birthday
So,
present.
anywho, it's really great.
I am
Good job.
even more excited.
Okay, sorry. Sponsors. The show is also brought to you by Oracle.
Shotgun bolt here.
If you're in London during March, you're probably inside, avoiding the rain and leveling up in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth instead of leveling up your career. What are these talking points? The free Oracle Dev Live Build with Data and AI 2-day event is dedicated to highly technical developer sessions, hands-on labs, and lightning talks. From Java Day on March 12th to Data and AI Day on March 13th, you'll learn how
Nobody's been here. Hurry up.
Java, Oracle Database, and Cloud Native. To register for this free event, visit the link
Got a hop
below.
up here. Hammer point.
Okay, that is short and sweet and gives you a pretty good idea of what it is that you're signing up for. That's super cool. The show is also brought to you by Squarespace. You can have many looks online, but sometimes it can be hit or miss if you don't have a professional stylist. This can also happen to your website if you're trying to build one from scratch. Squarespace is here to save you from disaster. You don't need to have any design or programming background to build a website. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that has a variety of customizable themes and templates. And with their award-winning designer templates, your site can go from Linus Sebastian to Linus Sebastian.
Shield here.
Wow.
Whether you're a local business, a blogger, an artist, or anyone, Squarespace has you covered. All of the templates seamlessly work on mobile devices as well, and if you already have a website, Squarespace can transfer your domain and improve your online presence with their marketing and customization tools. Plus, with 24/7 support, you'll never feel alone with your problems. So go to squarespace.com/WAN and you can get 10% off today. All right, what would you like to talk about, Mr. Luke?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, hit me, Dan.
Gotta hop up here.
Sure.
Do we have to intro them? Say what they are?
More merch messages. All right, hit me, Dan.
Wow, professionals. Hello, employees of Yvonne Umbrella Corporation. With more and more places asking for biometrics to log in, what happens when a database of fingerprints gets hacked? Do I need new fingers?
Theoretically, the biometric services that you're using, assuming you're talking about your iPhone, for example, theoretically, the way that it works is that the actual fingerprint itself is not stored on that third-party server. It's just a value is created from that fingerprint, and then it ensures locally on your device that you are close enough, and then it sends an authentication token that's like, yes, you biometrically authenticated, and we made sure that you did that, but you're not actually just shipping your fingerprint to anyone. However, there are exceptions to that. For example, I applied for my Nexus card yesterday, and you very much in a government database are storing your actual biometric information. So I didn't scan my fingerprint into my computer when I signed up for it, but that just reminded me that there are definitely places where there are gigantic treasure troves of real biometric data.
Yeah. Government hacks are
That
brutal, and they happen.
Did you do the retina? They have my retinas.
Nice. You can get new eyes.
Yeah, that's easy.
I don't think I've done the retina scan
That's for
With-
air travel.
with U.S. Border Services. They definitely have facial ID for me, and they definitely have fingerprints for me, but I don't think they have anything else. Man, the number of countries that have my fingerprints is very unsettling. If I ever decided to get them, it would have to be the kind that takes a belt sander to the old e-pause. Yeah.
Shield back.
Yeah,
Got
I
an
think-
extended
I think-
backpack here. Level
Hands
2.
I
up.
haven't
It's
already.
Maggie's.
Watch back.
Now Luke's mind contains my fingerprints too.
Yep.
We can just stay in here.
Gloves.
Look, we don't have a policy on that.
Says gold.
2F, can we 2FA your
Yeah, we
fingerprint?
can go back. Just want to protect both sides.
Linus isn't allowed to show his
You gotta unlock your phone.
pads of his fingers to the camera anymore.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Making contact with
Any
enemy.
updates
Let's
on the
explore this
UV
way.
reflective or blocking shirt you mentioned in the past?
It might be dead.
Oh.
I'm very sorry. So what happened was there was a bit of a miscommunication. We were not moving forward with the original supplier for it due
Definitely
to
heard footsteps.
things that were not our fault.
Yeah, I heard that.
And while I love the sample shirt that I have, we were not able to reach an agreement on moving forward with the mass production run. So we went in search of a new supplier for
Oh,
it.
fuck is
and
that thing you're
somewhere
putting out? I
in
never even
there,
seen that.
my requirements for the garment were not fully communicated.
Never fucking
And
Newcastle?
we've
That's
got
got
a
a
new supplier,
shield?
We've got a new fabric. But
Yeah,
while it has the UV blocking properties of the original
Crazy.
fabric and a very similar hand feel, good stretch
Just
characteristics,
melon
everything's
character.
fine. What it doesn't have is
Are
the
you or what?
antimicrobial properties.
I mean,
of the
kinda,
original
yeah. I
garment,
played this
which
game when it
was
first
what
came
I
out, then I
loved so
stopped
much about
playing,
it.
then I
So
started
could
playing
just
again,
wear
but I
this
really
thing to the
only barely
beach,
play this
go
shit.
out
Like,
swimming in the
I play
ocean,
Lifeline, and that's pretty much it.
not do anything, just
Oh,
dry
nice.
off.
I don't
and
know
not
shit
stink and
about
not
any of
get
these
sunburned.
characters.
It
Newcastle's
is
pretty nice
a
if you want a
flipping
new
awesome
character.
garment.
Like, when I started
However,
playing, it was like, they didn't
there
have
are
this many
problems
characters
with
that they have now.
antimicrobial clothing construction techniques.
There
You
was
can
like
put an
5 or 6
antimicrobial,
different characters you could
treatment
play.
on it, But
Swear to God, when this
realistically,
thing
that's
dropped,
going to
we're
wash
gonna-
off.
Yeah, if you
in
like Lifeline, you're probably like
20
Newcastle too.
washes,
He's got that
30
mobile shield.
at most, if you're
He's got a
lucky.
giant wall he
Anything
throws
you see
down, and then when he
advertised as
reses, he gets
antimicrobial or in
another
most
little
cases
mobile shield
waterproof,
when
it's
he
just
drags you.
a
Can't lose you
coating.
while resin.
And given that, man, what was that, like really good?
There's a lot of really like high-end.
Scotchgard doesn't exist anymore, not the way that it used to, which is a good thing because of how many people like died. It's a
I
whole
have
thing.
no idea.
Yeah, it's a whole rabbit hole. Scotchgard, as you know it on the shelf today, is not Scotchgard. Yeah, it was like birth defects and like a whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, the point is that these coatings are they're nonsense. They're not intrinsic to the materials, so I don't feel comfortable advertising them. So we could have done that, but we're not going to do that. There are alternatives. The thing that made the original garment antimicrobial was that it had a bamboo component to the fabric itself. But what our compliance person, who I don't know if they're off probation or not, and Tatiana, our materials specialist, have informed me of, is that bamboo, even though theoretically it's a super renewable resource, in most cases, the production of fabrics using bamboo is extremely environmentally harmful unless they're in like a closed system that involves recapture of some kind of something or other. And yes, you know, cotton is too, but bamboo is apparently horrible. Bamboo fabrics.
Weird.
So they basically presented that to me.
I'm gonna try to drop my
and
drop
were
out this
like,
door if I can.
So, you know, it's your call. And I was like, no bamboo. Silver is an option, but silver has recently been found, because of the size of the particles, to have potential detrimental health effects on the people who wear it. So any silver in the fabric, not an option now that we know what we know about it.
Yeah, Gristildor in Fulton Chat said my wife is a biochemist PhD and teaches researches the microbiome. And as far as my understanding goes, yeah, it's like okay.
Okay, we're gonna clear this shit out real quick.
Because you have as like icky as it is,
Up
you're
top?
covered in it all the time.
Well,
Nah,
I
just
mean,
right here.
good
Just
stuff.
right here.
You want to kill the good stuff.
I doubt.
And
but
then you're gonna
just
go
from
slide out to the
wearing
right or something?
hallucinating
How are you gonna get out of this?
garments
Nah,
with
we're
a
gonna
shirt
come back.
Right, it goes on top.
I thought there was somebody here earlier.
It was like a super light hoodie.
They're gone.
So
Maybe
it
they
was
went
very
around.
loose
Yeah,
fitting.
they're gone.
And with the amount of body hair that
We're gonna
I
get
and
fucked here.
probably
We
all
might want to
have,
pop out the other door
it's
up
not like
top
it's
here.
killing everything
Oh,
on
we
your
gotta go
skin.
this
It's
way, I
more
guess.
that-
But this
it's
is
more
gonna be
that
bad.
whatever
There's
gets
all these people
off of
right
your
here.
skin onto it.
Right here.
So I'm not actually worried about that aspect of it, but
And like I don't.
yeah, and people are saying it's almost like things harmful to microbes are also harmful to humans. I'm not convinced that bamboo-containing fabric is particularly harmful to humans. Yeah, basically we're not doing it. Merino wool has strong anti-bacterial as well, but it was very expensive to the point where that garment would be like $150 some hoodie, and we even
People already hate. We make.
Recharging my shields.
Get closer to this thing, bro. There you
really
go.
expensive. I don't
Especially when you like
make the fucking rules,
do
man.
cool things with it, because as far as my understanding goes, it's different. So like, yeah, if you try to make more complex, better molecules, it's more difficult.
So
Pretty
I've asked them if we can do it. Yeah, if we can do it, if we can find a source for a bamboo-based fabric that does the recapture thing or whatever, I still want to do it. But
I can evac power I released.
I think it's. But hey, positive side, I've got mine already. I mean, that's a write-off. Darn it. That is why we develop new things sometimes. It's just a thing that I
Next up, I think you're
Last one, yeah. Hey guys,
Left in there, you're by yourself. Drop down.
performance compared to Intel. I feel like it's worse boot times on AMD.
Oh, I think you're talking about the.
I'm alone up here if you guys want to slide up.
I don't consider it to be a huge problem, but the first time that you boot up an AM5 system, there can be a long, and I mean long, sometimes minutes long memory training period where the system does not indicate in any meaningful way that it is doing anything and just sits there.
A lot of heavy
like
ammo
it's
up here
just
too.
On, but not outputting anything and doing nothing, and then suddenly, boop, it works. And then every time you reboot after that, it's quite a bit faster. I'd love for them to make that better and smoother. It would seem like a more, mature, refined experience if they did, but I don't think it's the end of the world because I haven't found overall on a well-optimized BIOS that subsequent boot times are really any worse. So minor problem in my humble opinion.
Come and get your birthday present.
That squad fight great, but they're done.
Only 2 enemy squads remain.
Okay.
Oh, you want a fourth merge message?
Yeah, sure. Hit us with one more.
Shield
Okay.
battery here.
What does Luke think were the best development ideas? Linus-led development ideas. And can Linus guess what they are?
Been a while.
I don't even remember. We
I know
haven't done
the
things like that in a long
first,
time.
no matter what, indisputable, and if you disagree with me, you're actually wrong one. I know that one for sure.
What, like doing float plane at all?
They gotta be under
Okay.
us.
I didn't go that far, but okay. Yep.
I mean, I'm sure there were some terrible ideas.
You got any grenades to throw low?
Remember when we launched like a half-baked?
They're down there under us.
Like way of.
Don't be
way
jumping in
getting
there
rid
by
of
yourself.
like,
Ion, what are you doing?
equipment. Like we did like they were live. They were after the WAN show.
I thought it was garage sale. I thought he just announced it for sale, but I didn't realize there was an auction.
Remember, we would sit there and we would like adjust the price.
I think we got these guys under us and then a fucking rat somewhere.
Yeah, there's a rat. I saw him over there somewhere, but I'm just waiting. I'm not going in there because I don't want you guys getting. I'm staying up top of this. They're gonna have to come out at some point.
But look at the float plane people.
Anyone got grenades?
Yeah, okay, show them how happy you
We
guys are.
had a chat.
Some love in the chat.
Vital ring is closing.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke, it's attacked right now.
My husband is ignoring my phone call for your show. Please let Martin Wen know that his dinner's in the fridge.
Randy, your sticks!
Oh man.
That's an old.
How the fuck can that guy live through that many shots?
We were trying to make a
Verified actual gamer program, that was Linus-led development.
wasn't actually for float plane.
No,
That was entire. Float plane actually had
but they didn't say float plane. They just said best Linus-led development ideas.
fair. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I really liked that. That was a cool project, and I wish we got more use out of it. It wasn't a one-off.
No.
It was
We
at
used it
least
3 or 4 times.
I think more even.
No.
There was the
Unfortunately.
text one. There was the picture one.
Yep. The game.
The game was used multiple times,
I think
and
that was it.
there was one where it was mixed of text and pictures.
Okay, so 5.
We did 3 before the game, and then the game got at least. The game got 2 or 3 plays. I don't remember how.
I
Many.
think 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that many.
I do wish the game got more use.
I do wish that more GPU makers had actually
Yeah.
cared
Yeah.
about their GPUs ending up in the hands of gamers at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty clear by the end of it that the whole thing was kind of lip service, because it's not like we did that to make money. We made very little money. In fact, by the time you factor in the development cost,
We probably lost money.
I'm not going to say we lost money, but we also got some RMAs.
There was a
Stuff
bunch,
like that.
There was a bunch of development time.
Okay, we probably, let's say,
If you also account for opportunity cost of that development time, not just the
well,
hourly.
sure, yeah, then we definitely lost money. But that's not losing money. That's
Losing opportunity.
not making other money.
Yeah.
So, I try to be, words mean what they mean.
Yeah,
I try to
fair
be
enough.
careful with them. For the most part. What?
Nothing.
Go ahead, say it.
Nothing.
Why don't we talk about our new CT scanner?
Yeah, what?
Is this cool or what?
I mean, the images from it are sick.
Oh, this thing is so cool. Did anyone put any information about it? Did we even... name them?
Nope.
Darn it, you guys. Hold on a second. Ugh.
Elijah's asking, can I
Let's
spend
touch
my
down
head?
here.
No. X-rays.
Definitely. I think we should.
No.
I mean, with the amount of times he's hit it, it's probably just empty.
This is a good LZ.
Okay. So, hold on.
Get ready. Moving up. Drop, shock, and rock.
Mom says it's my turn with the brakes.
Okay, so these are the guys that we're working with. Luna Field. So we got the Neptune
Well, it looks cool too.
CT scanner. Yeah, looks super cool. Basically, what it does is it, at varying exposure times slash, I'm not sure if the energy level actually varies, but the exposure time definitely varies. It moves around an object, blasts it with X-rays, and spits out an extremely high fidelity 3D view of whatever object you put inside it. So I believe the one we have is the Neptune X-ray vision for engineers. Yeah. From talking to Lucas from the lab, who it seems has spent most of the time with it so far, the largest object we can do is about the size of a basketball. So unfortunately, it's not big enough for us to do something like a laptop, but we could do something like a smartphone.
Do you have any issues with magnetic stuff?
relocate here. Smoke out.
Nope, apparently,
Box, so it's not a problem. Or?
apparently the exposure outside of the box is less than you would experience by quite a lot than just sitting on an airplane.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's no big deal.
Oh, but that's not the.
Here we go.
So what you're saying is it's Elijah head size.
Seriously? No, Dan. Nobody is saying that.
Elijah's saying that.
If we.
Like I said,
We're inside the ring.
yeah, nobody who's allowed to make those kinds of decisions is saying that. There.
Mike D says, I work at a university with a whole department dedicated to studying brain injuries. Send Elijah my way. Could we use that as a tax write-off?
No.
They could.
No. That's not how any of this works.
We'll hire a media
What if we made a
consultant.
video of it?
We'll have them make a video. It'd be advertising.
I hate you guys
We're gonna
so
be in the
much.
green for once. We can afford new microscopes.
Amazing. We're
funny
doing it.
thing is-
We're doing business.
The funny thing is, you guys are memeing. A lot of other people in the comments are going to be memeing because they know how much I get triggered by this kind of tax write-off. But a significant number. After I did the spiel, like a
The
significant
fuck
amount
did
of
you
the
guys just do?
comment
You
section
died
is
over there?
still
Well, it's
people
like
who
such a.
I'm gonna get the fuck out.
completely
Then I'm gonna try
do
and
not-
craft
It's
you.
like they don't want to
What
understand.
in the
One of
fuck?
the things is that I think you are operating above board, but a lot of people aren't. And there's like this whole thing going on right now where like the IRS was partially defunded in the States. But the IRS was partially defunded in the States, and apparently a bunch of people were getting away with like improperly doing tons of tax write-offs. But maybe they're going after them now or something or whatever. I don't know.
Sure. Let me put it this way. I am not a small enough fish that I could possibly hope to get away with that. Our companies have been audited, all of them, multiple times in the time we've been running them. And if we had
Really
anything,
annoying.
if we had anything even approaching the egregiousness of trying to write off a home renovation, I would get f***ed. Like 6 ways, sideways, every bad way. The CRA does not.
So it's a little different. Because like I've heard stories from other people in the industry and other people doing business stuff in general that are like pretty crazy in regards to how they deal with taxes and write-offs and all this other type of stuff. It's all Americans. In my experience, I think their whole tax code being so insanely complicated kind of works both ways. There's like no way to do it right, so they can screw you over no matter what. But also, there's no way to do it right. People are just going to do all that stuff wrong anyways. So like I don't know. I think it's bad on both ends.
Pretty much.
But I mean, I don't know because I don't have to deal with them.
Oh man, I'm so annoyed. Dan, yeah, confirmed. We have to use that one app. We cannot use a different one, and that's very, very annoying.
Yeah.
Luke, what?
Seriously?
This is new?
I think so.
Sorry, where did this whole...
Can we deal with this on Monday?
Conversation even start?
Because I was logging into my work account before the show, and it told me I have one more warning before I must use this. And then I used up my one.
Which work account?
Well, this one. The maker of this tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this. So I'm...
Can I type? Can we... Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it. We can deal with this Monday, but...
Okay, so is there no other option for the app for this?
No.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm very unhappy about it. I have to have an entirely separate app just for this one stupid login. Okay. Hate app bloat. Don't like extra apps.
I think I kind of like this, actually.
Explain.
I don't know if I can right now, but I think I kind of like this.
I'm interested. We'll talk later.
Well, I think you know which side of this battle I want to win, right? And there's reasons why this one is currently winning, but I don't want that one to win. I want the other one to win.
Yeah.
So stuff like this is great for me, if my team's losing.
And after all that, I don't have access to the SharePoint share that Lucas sent to me.
Why is it on SharePoint?
I don't know. I'm just trying to click a link in the doc, Luke.
Well, it's not supposed to be on
hate
SharePoint.
computers.
It took me this long to click a link in the doc.
It's supposed to be using Google Drive.
Hey,
Is
well,
somebody using SharePoint?
Yeah.
Do I have to break fingers?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, like, you should make a note for Monday.
I don't even have a- service. There was a prompt to request access to it, and I'm not getting a prompt anymore.
Reckon we crash land
I'm
this
not even
puppy
getting
there.
a prompt. I am so upset right now.
I'm sending a scheduled message to this person.
Yes.
It's just all capitals. I'm coming for your finger.
No, you can't. No, you can't do that.
I will ask Ariana to tell me where they live, and just go there after WAN show.
You guys can't do that. I don't even think you can joke about that.
I think the gas for that trip is a pack.
There you go. I'll use the company car. And then the overtime. Well, the thing is that you will have one less employee to pay, so I'm like saving you money.
It'll be 2.
Yeah, because I'll be in jail. Double tax right up.
That's not a tax write-off.
Yeah, that's just being business savvy and saving you money.
Yeah. Which might be a tax write-off. If you think about it.
I can't show you the scan of the mouse because it's on SharePoint and I don't have access to it. But this is the inside of that promotional D-brand Rubik's Cube. How cool is that? So you're seeing like the magnets for aligning it or something like that, and then you're seeing the internal gear mechanism for rotating it around. Ah, Luke, Rubik's Cube?
Oh yeah, that picture is sick. Really like that one.
Super cool. Here we go. Here we go. Here's a Noctua Edition LTV screwdriver on an overnight. So this is a 12-hour scan. The longer you go, the more detail you can get. So it is. And there's things that we can refine. There's things that we can fine tune. One of the things that we agreed to was that for the first 3 months, anything that we're going to publish in a video, we would send it to them to make sure that like everything was set correctly, because this is a real tool. It's a professional tool. You can. There's a lot of parameters that you can adjust. But oh my god, how cool is that? That's it. That's the ratchet mechanism. There's the bit storage.
We're inside the ring.
Absolutely love it.
Clown spotted over here.
Oh my god.
Deploying me knuckle
I
cluster.
mean, dang it. Maybe. Hold on. I really want to show you guys. Okay. I hate this, but I'm downloading a file from Teams. Then I'm gonna have to upload it to Drive. then I'm gonna have to open it on there because I'm not logged into Teams on this for what are probably fairly obvious reasons.
What if you just have them send it to that email?
At this point, I can email it to myself faster than I can have someone else send me the stupid thing. So I'm just gonna do it myself.
Recharging my shield.
Okay. All right, hold on. Now I gotta reply. I'm coordinating stuff.
I need shields.
Yes. Anyway, that's the internals. Oh, here's a metal 3D printed keycap, scanned for 80 minutes.
Pretty cool as well.
Guys, how freaking cool is this? And it's
Look at the grain.
it's apparently super accurate, like super accurate, like to within 0.1 somethings. I can't remember what they are, but they're small. Really excited about this, man. The options are endless, and what would you guys like to see us use it for? Oh my god, we're not doing tax write-off shirts.
Recharging my shields.
Broke that enemy
What if
shield.
we hired a
Hit that
consultant
gun.
to do the design?
I mean, yeah, we can write that off,
Very wise.
but
I'm
we will
getting
help you
out.
business.
I got clipped hard. Got boxes to
I
read.
need shields.
Supply
We're gonna
bin.
be a business
Weapon supply
factory.
bin here.
Together we will
shooting
become
at
a
me.
real company.
Is this what my mom always says? Get a real job?
can we have?
Is this a real job now?
Can we talk about the cool CT scanner now? Okay. Can we talk about the cool Lumafield CT scanner that is really cool
What's your favorite thing
that they're
you
letting
scan?
us use? That what?
What's your favorite thing you scan?
Come
Like,
and
is
get
the
your
Rubik's Cube
bag.
your favorite one so far?
Well, I don't know. It might be the mouse, but I haven't seen it yet. No, that's. What are you even talking about? You're not even trying to make it kind of make sense anymore.
What do you mean? It's a prop. It was probably on one of the shelves in one of the backgrounds of one of the
Well,
videos.
that'd
I'm,
be an
I'm
enemy.
suspecting someone didn't bring the Rubik's Cube from home.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you here.
Hostile spotted.
The Rubik's Cube, I didn't pay for it at all. D-Brand sent it, and it doesn't even.
Let's get an
No
upgrade.
offense, D-Brand, but it's
Upgraded and
worthless.
good to go.
I don't think we declared it. I don't even know where it is. I don't care. I don't care about that Rubik's Cube. I don't bother to build the company when we use my house as a location. It's not. It doesn't register, Luke. I don't care about the Rubik's Cube. Hate you guys so much.
A screwdriver, though?
Screwdriver looks really cool.
It does, actually. The whatever 12-hour scan one is pretty wicked.
Yeah. Okay.
How it picked up the knurling and stuff is pretty cool.
Okay, here it is. Here's mouse1.mp4, finally. Flipping.
So wait, what's happening on the right now?
Not sure.
Let me help you guys.
Sounds like something a big nerd would know. Oh, it's moving.
like
It's moving.
building it?
Yeah, it's like going through it.
So the left is like the final image, and
Yeah.
the right is
I think so.
Cracked an enemy
how it's like
shield.
building the.
Later.
the
They shooting at
slices.
me.
Yeah.
Broke that enemy shield. Target making noise this way. Enemy right here.
Okay, I see at the bottom
So we can see the internal trace layout.
Holy
of the
shit, get up to
CPU.
me, buddy.
Not on anything super complex in all likelihood, but on something relatively simple like a mouse, yeah. So
The switches
Might be
are
able to
so
get
small.
out and get to this craft machine for him,
Come on.
though. He's
come on,
dead.
boys. What do I call them? Line of sight, boys.
Official home says,
okay, what are we supposed to
two
be talking about
teams.
now? Samsung.
Official
I
home
saw,
says,
I saw.
run.
Samsung.
We're not all in the
Okay,
ring. Check your
they
position.
are
Samsung?
doing some of the coolest
no.
display development right now. Quantum Dot OLED technology is amazing. We did a sponsored video for them around the time of CES for
Official
Samsung
home
display,
says,
which
residential
is
in the
not
gas.
The same thing as Samsung Electronics.
Official
So we
home
worked with
says,
Samsung Display,
Lifeline.
with
You want me to
them.
res you out
Official
there?
home
CES,
says,
I shouldn't say hung
go
out.
back.
We went to their booth. We went to their
Official
booth
home
at
says,
CES.
yes.
Okay, if you want it, I'll
genuinely,
do
like,
it.
I would have been happy to make that video.
Official
without a
home says,
sponsorship check. I
why
don't
not?
care. I love this tech. It's so cool. QD OLED, amazing. Samsung Electronics.
Official home
What are you
says,
doing, bud?
you'll have drone.
They announced that upcoming OLED TV.
Yeah, I have drone.
Official
I know,
home
I love
says,
my drone.
it
Please.
doesn't work in
The
gas.
company has apparently chosen
What, my
not
drone
to
doesn't work in
state
gas?
whether a given television uses a quantum
Official
dot
home
OLED
says,
panel,
yeet.
the kind that
It used to
Samsung
work in the
display
gas. What do you
makes,
mean?
or a WOLED panel, the kind that LG display makes.
OLED.
While all of Samsung's high-end S95C TVs will be QD-OLED, its mid-range S90D series will apparently be sometimes QD-OLED and sometimes WOLED. Samsung has previously heavily advocated for quantum dots, both for color purity and for avoiding burn-in, which appear to be very legitimate advantages of their technology. But according to Korean media outlet The Elec, Samsung has decided not to explicitly advertise their TVs as QD OLED due to a request from LG Display not to position white OLED as inferior to QD OLED. What the actual is going on? I put this in as a topic because I get so flipping upset every time a brand obfuscates the underlying technology of what's being used.
Official home says, I'm sorry.
And we've seen this
Official
time
home
and time
says,
again.
restat.
And,
How the fuck did that
okay,
just happen?
very recently, AMD, not very recently, on an ongoing basis, AMD
Go
has
far,
created
please.
a
Go
different,
far. Oh, go out this way.
numbering
Get far.
scheme for their mobile processors compared to their desktop processors, so that you can't compare across
Official home
generations
says, that
and
team is
know what
SUS.
exact, sorry, excuse me. So you can't look at both of them and know
Yeah, but I'm not trying
what
to go into that
generation
fight
of
right now.
Zen architecture they're using,
Wait, I might
even
get up
though
in gear.
traditionally the model number has gone up to correspond with a move from Zen to Zen Plus to Zen 2 to Zen 3 to Zen 4. And I'm trying to think of some other really good examples of this. I mean, NVIDIA's had some GPUs where you might get one architecture, you might get another one, and the performance characteristics can be different across them. We've seen from
Sniper stock here. Level 2.
man, I'm trying to think now. I'm pretty sure Intel has pulled this nonsense at some point or another, where at the low end they were using like a previous architecture, even though it had the same like family name in the branding, like the same generational branding. And I just, it drives me absolutely crazy because I don't have to, I don't imagine, right? I don't imagine for a second that when I buy the low-end product, I'm getting exactly the same thing as the high-end one. I mean, sure, if I buy the, whatever 90 instead of the 95, I might be getting lower-end processing. I might not be getting as many HDMI inputs. It might not be available with the same degree of anti-glare coating technology or whatever. But if I'm buying this generation of product, my expectation is that I'm getting the low-end version of that, not that I'm getting a completely f***ing different thing. Yeah. And I don't think that that's an unfair expectation. I think that that should be a baseline expectation.
A new kill leader. We have our target.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Discussion question is, if customers are getting an equally good product, does it matter that they don't know or understand the difference between two products that are being sold as the same thing?
But that's the thing. They are getting an also good product. WOLED has advantages. When we're talking pure brightness, okay, WOLED can achieve higher highs, especially on white. And you know what? A lot of your specular highlights, a lot of your pinpoint stars, or whatever, a lot of the things that are really bright in the scene happen to be white. And so they can achieve
Even
really,
something like fire, like the really bright points of it might be white.
they can achieve really amazing performance in HDR, which is how we're evaluating the latest generation of displays, because they're all going to do a great job of SDR anyway, so we want to see how well they do in HDR. Also, LG's own TV, so again, LG Display, LG Electronics, not the same thing, but LG Electronics displays, as we saw when we checked out that Flanders Scientific display, can do a great job, even though they have, inferior panel technology when it comes to color brightness, because that's the thing that QD OLED does so well, is when you're
Official
talking
home
about
says,
the brightest
tough.
possible representation of a
That
color,
works.
QD OLED is superior to WOLED because it's not washed out by that white subpixel when it's trying to achieve that level of brightness. Red is just the red subpixel going, oh, baby! Not red with some little bit of white in take a little bit away from it. And so it's not about superior or inferior even necessarily. It's about what the fuck I'm buying.
What the fuck?
And my understanding when I was buying a Samsung TV was I was getting.
I'll take him away from you.
OLED. And Samsung has marketed it really heavily, so for them to do this about face, so that they can, you know, not make their WOLED panel-based TVs look too bad, it's really frustrating. Like, by all
Official
means,
Home
have
says,
WOLED
GG.
panels, but just tell me that's what it is, and market it as such, because they're not the same thing. Creating confusion, so that it basically amounts to creating confusion. It's intentional. It's not like this is accidental, oopsie-daisy.
Like at this point, why did you even make like?
Well, because LG Display, if they stop running the fabs, is basically like lahoobed. And so if I had to guess, I would say it's because LG Display needs to sell panels. Samsung Electronics moves a lot of TVs, and so they've done a deal to move LG panels. And as part of that business arrangement, this kind of makes sense. There's a combination of what's being reported here, which is that LG has asked, hey, respectfully, if you're going to buy our product, don't take a big fucking dump on it in your marketing, right? So part of it is that, and another part of it is that from Samsung Electronics' standpoint, they're sitting here going, well, if we just
Nando says,
OLED
are
is
we going
OLED,
to play like
and
that
we're getting
again?
a deal from Life's Desperate over there.
Nando says, cause
Hey.
that was trash.
LG has spent the last 8 years hyping OLED.
Official
Why don't we
Home
just
says, I know you're
Stop
not talking to
about
me.
the differences in the different kinds of OLED, and we can take these discount OLED panels, position them, you know, right alongside ours, charge a premium price for the display, and hey, no one's the wiser. So Samsung Electronics has their own incentive for not positioning QD OLED as
Scrappy
that
DP
much
says,
better than WOLED, because you got to understand Samsung Display, Samsung Electronics, yes, they are definitely related and they definitely, you know, co-benefit each other.
That is an ideal landing place.
Scrappy DP says, you blaming me for reviving you guys.
It's in their best interest to take as much of the margin of that
Por no
finished
pelear,
product
güey, es por
away
eso.
from Samsung Display and into Samsung Electronics, because that makes them look good.
Official Home
And they don't
says,
ultimately care
I'm
nearly
not
as
saying
much about
anything.
how Samsung Display looks.
Scrappy
So if
DP
they
says,
can use
no
LG
Espanol.
Display to put pressure on
Official
Samsung
Home
Display
says,
so that they
it's
can get
just a
better deals
game.
across the board, they're going to do that. Regardless of whether LG please asks them not to make WOLED look bad. So there's a whole complicated dynamic at play here, but at the end of the day, it's all about making money, and none of it is about helping consumers understand what the fuck they're buying. And that's what I don't like.
I got 2 on me.
There.
We're close to
And
the
none of
ring.
this is a tax
We
write-off.
have 1
Stop.
minute.
Although there are plenty of tax incentives and
Extended
tax
energy
write-offs in
magazine
the
here.
operation of their
Level
businesses,
2.
I'm sure.
I'm sure lots. Yeah.
I mean, especially
In the fab.
South Korea.
Yeah.
Like, the whole, you know, the government and the
45
big
seconds,
companies.
rings close.
Well, it's something.
It sure is. Speaking of something, Microsoft suddenly drops Windows 11's Android app support.
Yeah,
On
how about
March
that?
5th, Microsoft unexpectedly announced that next year it would be ending support of
Rings near with
the
booty
Windows
on the
subsystem
clock.
for
Let's
Android,
move.
which allows
Start here.
Android apps to be used
Enemies
on
already
Windows 11.
pressed this
The
way.
next day, the Windows subsystem was no longer available for download. The feature debuted in 2022, but it always lacked formal access to the Google Play Store, which was the whole issue. Meaning that users typically relied on the Amazon
Hold
App
on to your
Store.
knickers.
While Microsoft has not stated the reason for the decision, it's broadly expected to be a result of
Here
low
comes the
usage
old
levels,
knuckle
particularly
cluster.
due to Microsoft no longer producing
Broke the enemy
consumer-focused
shield.
tablets.
Joker over
Discussion
there.
question, is Microsoft right to drop this feature, or should they simply have
Cracked an
invested
enemy shield.
more into making it popular? I have an alternative weird theory, which is that they might be trying to get their own Android apps. Actually, no, I think
Getting
that's a
shot
bad
at.
I think it's just low usage. Supporting features that no one uses sucks. Devs working on this thing, and a lot of developers want to work on something that people actually use. So you might have like a literal morale issue if you get people.
They're getting third-partied.
Using this or maintaining this thing that people don't utilize anyways. And that sucks. And then just like, why are you wasting your time supporting this thing that is mostly supporting Amazon anyways? And no one's using it.
I just couldn't find a real reason to use it. We wanted to make a video about it. I was either earlier this year or sometime last year. But it shouldn't matter anyway, because couldn't you just use an APK anyway?
Got me a problem.
We have the high ground.
Some of them seem real, but not advice. Some of them have seen downloaded things from them and not had any problems.
Yeah, I don't know if most people want to do that though. Like, I think your install base of people doing that.
They're trying to swing on us.
Yeah, I just couldn't find any reason to use it compared to apps.
I'm moving this way. I'm gonna go out through this turn.
Yeah.
You guys want to go that way? Go
So I
ahead.
mentioned that full play chat.
I don't know why you didn't use my drone to
Good
heal.
argument. I don't know anyone that uses it. If it had access to Google Play Store, I would probably use it.
Level 3.
But I don't want to use the Amazon store. That's a whole different rabbit hole though. Speaking of things being disabled, Roku disabled TVs until users accept new terms involving forced arbitration. And worse. What the heck? This week, many users found themselves unable to access their Roku TVs unless they accepted new dispute resolution terms. Roku's terms have had a forced arbitration clause for some time, but the company quietly changed its terms as of February the 20th to require a further step of informal dispute resolution, where anyone with a legal complaint must first call and discuss the issue with Roku's lawyers, even before seeking formal arbitration. Users will likely only have a narrow window of time to opt out of the new terms, which Roku requires to be sent to them via snail mail. Discussion questions: how much does intentional inconvenience prevent people from exercising their rights? How can you disable the TV?
In my opinion, this is just waiting for a challenge. This is just waiting for a class action.
I hope they get dunked on. This is crazy.
They're basically going up.
I'm really not about to move from here.
Baseball game. You know, they're in the crowd.
You've got all this area to loot. All this area to loot.
They're calling the pitcher's name, and they're pulling down their pants. They're turning around and going, "Take a shot." Come on.
Those dudes are trying to get out.
I think they're gonna get a 100-mile-an-hour fastball up the butt. I mean, it's from, baseball.
Need heavy ammo.
Someone's pulled down their pants at a baseball game once.
Do you just think of these things when you go get snacks?
Oh, look, a bird got killed by Randy Johnson. There's no way no one's ever pulled down their pants at a baseball game.
Those things being related is amazing.
I just mean that the odds are.
I love that. Planes kill birds all the time.
Yeah.
There's probably someone who has pants themselves in the middle of an aisle on a plane. It's probably happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Makes sense. It totally makes sense.
You've seen that clip of Randy Johnson hitting the bird, right?
It's kind of crazy.
Incredible. I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Like for years. Yeah. Like, oh no, that actually happened. That's unbelievable.
Pretty wild.
There is baseball in Canada. It just sucks.
It's called basketball up here.
It's not. Stop it.
Sorry, basketball.
Man, that's the kind of movie that I would not want to go back and rewatch as not, 14-year-old.
It's probably terrible.
Probably doesn't hold up that well.
Yeah.
I remember it fondly, but
me too.
Everything I remember,
I will not go back and watch it.
Yeah,
again.
it would not convince me to rewatch it. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's one of those ones where there's a big difference between what professional film critics thought and what the audience thought.
I often like those movies.
Official Home says, we could have taken them.
What just happened?
I don't know. You guys left me. Who were you taking?
I mean, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, the fact that you told them 2 of those.
and where he's holding them.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to get you back up.
Nice. Okay, what are we supposed to be talking about?
Nikon buys Red?
Yeah, I know. Red Digital Cinema.
What?
See you later. Acquired by Nikon.
Is this a good thing? Do we like this?
I think we just don't care. I think no one
Official
really cares
Home says,
about Red
were you
anymore,
ratting?
And so, yeah, it's one of those things that's sort of noteworthy because it's like, oh yeah, I remember Red. You know, when they were making waves and big films were using Red cameras, and then like prominent online creators were like, cool, you know, Red cameras.
We shoot on Red now.
How many Ks? How many Ks can you make? And then Red just didn't do anything for a long time, and it completely faded from relevance. Completely faded from relevance, and I just kind of forgot they existed. Like Sony's completely eaten the sort of low-end filmmaker space. Ari never really seems to have regarded Red as anything other than a minor inconvenience. Who else exists exactly?
By the way, Mike D in Philippine chat
Panasonic?
said July 16th, 1990, Steve Lyons of the Chicago White Sox pulled down his pants after making it to first base.
He's lucky he didn't get a baseball in there.
Yeah. You never know.
Target spotted.
Pokemon, Black Magic. I think Black Magic is more interested in the ecosystem than cameras these days.
Yeah. And like doing like their green screen stuff is so cool.
Oh, you already got up?
Yeah, that was an acquisition. The one that we have upstairs.
That's so cool.
So cool.
My goodness, that's cool.
Hardware accelerated, baby.
Official Home
Although
says,
I gotta imagine the next level of that is going to be AI accelerated, and it's going to absolutely.
He got you over there. I was about to get you right here. What the fuck is happening, bro?
Canon apparently does cinema cameras too. Oh, all right. Shows you what I know.
Imagine just being able to
Meanwhile, the
describe-
WAN show literally shot on C200s. Totally forgot about them.
Yeah.
They're just the Sony's killing it, man.
What camera?
An enemy landed DV.
I have a C100. Yeah, it's not great.
Those were we used those for a while. Yeah. Linux hits an all-time high.
Just us. We got to watch
According
each
to
other's
research
back.
firm StarCraft,
Official Home
Linux has
says,
reached a
I
historic
couldn't do anything.
4.03% of
Hey,
You
desktop
can
OS
craft right there and then
Don't
recover
cap
it.
on that.
I'll get
4%
him.
is a freaking lot. It's more than
Get him,
ever.
get him, get him, get him, get him,
Yeah.
craft him.
Not including Chrome OS, by the way. Which I thought that was it. When I first read this, I was like, yeah, it's Chrome OS. No. Chrome OS
Official
accounts for
Home says,
another
"Tut."
2.3
Follow me up here if you can.
Linux also shows strong upward momentum, having only passed 3% of global market share in June of 2023. That's actually massive momentum. That's
I want the
crazy.
high outside
Much of
ground.
the recent growth in Linux comes from adoption overseas, such as in India, where Linux is the second most popular desktop OS after Windows.
You'll get some shit out of this.
In comparison, Linux has a 3.85% desktop share.
Package coming in. Oi,
Pretty
extra
cool.
supply here.
Wow, 15%.
Shield battery here.
Huge.
Standard stock
Now,
here.
what I'd like to know, and I don't know if this is addressed in any of the coverage. Ars Technica did a good article about it. I don't know if this is addressed in any of the coverage, but what I would like to know is, are they counting something like a Steam Deck?
Yeah, there's a note in
desktop.
here asking essentially the same thing. I suspect they would be.
They might be, but
Because
it's,
apparently the data is collected from web traffic, so I think it would be.
so then it's also possible that Steam Decks would be massively undercounted, because the Steam Deck is first and foremost a game console. It's a console. Everything about it is designed to be a console to the greatest degree that Valve was able to achieve that. From the instant wake to the power optimization, yeah, you can plug it into a dock.
Replicator on its way down.
Good keyboard. A lot of people aren't going to do that. They're just gonna game. They're just gonna do nothing but run Steam and game, and they're not going to visit.
I'll walk it off.
They're not going to browse the web with it.
Rings nearby,
So
1
in
minute
my
to close.
mind, this number is probably underrepresented. Now you could make the same arguments for other operating systems. On this kind of on POS terminals that run Windows, of which there are millions worldwide. You know, they don't browse the web on those. Sure, fine enough. That's fair enough. But given how small the Linux number is, and given how many Steam Decks I suspect that Valve is selling, I think it will have a significant impact compared to Windows.
At the same time, I think it might actually be the other way, because this is arguing desktop OSs. So if that's the case, then Steam Deck's involvement at all, I think, is almost cheating.
No, because desktop OSs includes laptops. They can't tell the difference. So if you're going to include one mobile device, you got to include a different mobile device.
I don't know.
I don't consider the Steam. I consider the Steam Deck a computer. I know I just said it's a console, but I also argue that the PS5 is a computer, so I'm standing behind it.
Switch a computer?
No.
It's
It's yes, but it doesn't have any kind of general purpose utility.
Steam Deck does.
Steam Deck does. It's a computer.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to pick it apart.
I
think it's kind of on the edge.
We made a very similar argument once the once you could put the Xbox in dev mode and install, you know, emulators on it in a browser and whatever. It's okay. It's just a computer now.
Yeah, like if you plug the right things into it, you can literally run. Like Jaden used a Steam Deck as his development computer at work for a while because we didn't have a PC for it. So it was temporary, and he actually kind of liked it, and it worked fine. So like, yeah, I think the argument's fine.
Enemy shield cracked. Reloading.
It's exciting.
Yeah, cool. It's good.
Is it time again?
No, not yet.
I want to see
It's too early.
Valve, where is SteamOS?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let us run on a computer. Especially with all these like hyper invasive interventions, which are like the only way forward. There's an unprecedented, insane amount of people cheating in multiplayer games right now. I like would. We're talking about how the console's dying. I think gaming device is gonna be a thing. If you like might legitimately not want to do all the things you do on a computer on your gaming computer.
I fucked one of those guys up,
but
they saw me from there.
Kernel level anti-cheats. So like, there's some idea there. Our software has opinions on kernel level anti-cheat. Yeah.
Gotta clown that away.
We have 10 seconds. Move with purpose.
How do we fix cheating in games? You can't fix it at an OS level. You can't fix it at
He's trying to sneak behind us.
You can't fix it at a driver level. You can't fix it at a hardware level.
In my opinion, you have to fix
You got any heavy ammo?
And you still won't be able to fix it. You have to try to alleviate it. This is why I push so hard. They're never gonna do it.
Enemy down. Another enemy
What in the fuck just happened from behind? Oh, they all came from behind.
People liked it so much that Counter-Strike creators would just stream themselves going through the overload. I actually think it helps very significantly because they're never going to be able to detect it.
Tell me this. If a game developer was willing to implement support for it, so by support for it, I mean locked off servers where only people who have this device can participate. Would you buy a device that is essentially a camera and a piece of software that monitors the screen, that uses machine vision to track your actions on your peripherals and hold on.
I'm waiting.
Locally tracks what's happening on your peripherals and locally tracks what's happening on your screen and ensures that they correspond
It's not enough.
Why not?
In Tarkov, people cheat. This one's very debatable how much it's used, but a lot of people think it's a lot. And like, if you remember Goat's video, he was only detecting people that were doing this style of cheating, where it's a cheat that's on your screen. They can see through walls, they can see wireframes through walls, all that type of stuff. There's another form of cheating. And this form of cheating is in multiple games, where you have an external computer. So you have a, what is it? DMA device, direct memory access device. You go to an external computer, and then you can see people on the other computer. So you're talking about your own screen. Some people cheat with a completely external screen.
No, that's true. But yeah, I guess that wouldn't help, because then everything would still correspond, and unless it's watching your eyes. Okay, so
eye tracking as well.
Next level.
Now you're not allowed looking at a spare monitor though.
Well, you're not allowed to. Basically, you would still be able to do some stuff. Like, you'd be able to stop moving, look at something else, mime that you're doing something. No, you wouldn't, because you're just looking at something else. You'd be able to take your mouse off your hand off your mouse and pretend you're looking at your phone over here for a little bit, and then you'd be able to go back to your thing. But that would put you at a significant competitive disadvantage in a lot of games. If you actually, so theoretically, remember guys, this is a theoretical product. So theoretically, it is a device that has a camera that monitors your hand movements, an eye tracker that monitors your eye movements, and then a piece of software that is tied into it, or better yet, not software, a third camera that monitors the screen and ensures that everything is synced.
And how does this work? It reports an everything okay signal?
Basically, it's an everything's fine alarm all the time, and it'll ping the multiplayer server saying everything's okay, everything's okay, everything's okay, and then if it ever stops, then you're kicked immediately. If it worked, let's say it's, hold on, let's do something like this. Hold on, it's what I've described so far. Would you consider buying it? If there was a big enough ecosystem that you knew that in a game you like to play, other people would be using it and you could play on a cheat-free server.
It sounds so susceptible to
ignore
like
that,
such a
though.
massive honeypot.
Ignore that. Let's say it worked.
And like wasn't a giant honeypot for people to come.
Everything was essentially locally stored other than the everything's okay alarm.
Yeah, probably, to be honest.
Okay.
And I just cover up the cameras when I want to.
Well, let's talk about the pricing.
Oh.
I mean, that doesn't... Oh, hello. Buddy? That doesn't sound cheap.
No.
Let's say it's $300.
Does it work in multiple games?
It works in any game where the developer implements support and has cheat-free, like cheat eye, or whatever you want to call it.
So can we assume this is like not 100% but pretty ubiquitous?
Look, it's not ubiquitous.
No.
It's supported in a handful of games, but one or two of them happen to be ones that you like to play.
I would consider it depending on the games.
$300.
I would consider it depending on the games.
Yeah. Let's say it was supported in Tarkov.
Yeah.
Would you play whatever, not raids, not extractions, whatever they're called, instances, raids, sure. Yeah. Would you play raids with this device and this device alone if it was available, and would you spend the money on it?
Drilling right through yous.
Got an upgrade.
I think you'd have to be in lobbies only with other people using it.
Well, yeah, you would. So you'd have exclusive.
And I think there's, like I said, the external monitor thing is still going to happen.
Frag out. Ring's moving and we don't seem to be in it. Boom.
I don't know. It's not a guarantee because the external monitor thing. Because we really have no idea what percentage of people are using that.
Yep, that's fair.
We know it's a lot. We know it's like actually a huge amount of people. Because there's a weird thing where that's the easiest way to cheat with your friends as well.
Reloading.
Because it's the least suspicious to the other people that you're playing with.
Right.
If it could get around that, yeah, I think I would. Because
care package incoming.
To me, to be completely honest, to me,
new kill leader. Call him if you
like
spot him.
first-person
Where the hell are you guys? I can heal you. Where are you at?
Yeah, nah, healing.
I don't think any of them is okay.
I don't even think that's a controversial
you're
take.
me.
So
What
someone
the
told me
fuck?
like, oh, but there's no cheating in Valorant. They have the kernel level anti-cheat, and it's like, but like,
bruh,
YouTube it. They're everywhere. maybe it helps them. Maybe. But ultimately, this is a like back and forth that will go forever.
Okay, so here's one. Elijah said something else, but it made me think of something different.
Yeah.
Good job, Elijah. You're doing great.
It's a valuable skill.
Knowing that there's
Also
going to
tax
be a cost in terms of latency, right? You're going to it'll cost you a frame of latency. Let's say 15 milliseconds. Would you play a competitive shooter from a cloud streamed service if you knew that every other client connected was also using the same cloud stream service and the whole thing was running locally so they could monitor what absolutely everyone is doing? So nothing goes in, nothing goes out other than mouse and keyboard inputs and frame data. Would that be more fun these days?
If everyone's doing it, I think so.
If everyone is on it.
Because the biggest thing is it's not getting owned. Because, like, you know, I'm getting older. I'm getting a little bit slower. I'm not as good at FPS games as I used to be. Also don't play them as much. Like, it's just not... That's fine. I'm going to lose. It's having a very legitimized theory that the person that just beat you might be cheating.
Yeah.
And, like, in
seed of doubt.
It just ruins the whole thing. And like in Tarkov, they added a thing where you can view people's profiles after they kill you. And it's like, oh, cool. This guy has a 75% extraction rate. Probably just died to a cheater. Go into the next game. This guy has 17 KD. That is definitely possible. There are people that are
really good.
definitely legit that definitely have KDs better than that. That dude's probably not one of them. Right? Like, I don't know. And it just sucks. Time to break out World of Tanks. Let's see. Tanks. Cheats are World of Tanks. World of Tanks banned thousands of cheaters in February. How to cheat in World of Tanks. The legal aim cheat World of Tanks doesn't want you to know about.
All right.
Multiplayer competitive games are covered in cheaters right now. It's actually crazy. It's mostly in like games that involve projectiles. So I was gonna say first-person shooter, but I don't know if you.
Helldivers has a problem.
Does it?
In a PvE like multiplayer game.
People suck.
Teamwork, yeah.
If you're cheating in Helldivers, you are not a citizen.
Wow.
That is not very democratic of you.
Not declared not a citizen. Got him.
Not patriotic at all.
Service guarantees citizenship.
You belong to the bugs.
All right. Are there any other topics that we really need to hit here? European new car assessment program has declared that all cars need physical controls like buttons, switches, and dials for important features like turn signals, windshield wipers, horns, hazard warning lights, and any built-in SOS features. I mean, that should have been common sense before, but hey, thanks Tesla.
Personally, I support that a lot.
Yep. And Oregon passed a right to repair law that Apple is not a fan of. Basically, they're going after locking components, like serializing components and locking them to a particular device. Google has been vocally in support of the bill, but Apple has expressed concerns, saying that the bill's language around parts pairing could force them to allow third-party biometric sensors to work on our devices without any form of authentication, which could lead to unauthorized access to an individual's personal data, to the detriment of customers everywhere because they do not have the ability to restrict such provisions regionally. Yeah, you're going to have to just figure it out, Apple, which we know you can. So just do it because you did it before. So just do it like that. Yeah, the bill covers all consumer electronics, but excludes motor vehicles, farming equipment, medical devices, HVAC systems, game consoles, solar panels, and electric toothbrushes. So right to repair doesn't... What is this, the Oral-B lobby? Like... What's going on?
Yeah, why can't you do that?
At Colgate,
like what's gonna happen if you fix your own toothbrush? What risk is this?
Your teeth data is gonna be, you know, it's a medical device. I don't know.
Unbelievable. All right.
Rings in our neighborhood and won't close for 30.
I think it's time for WAN Show After Dark.
All right. Now,
fine, I'll do it.
Yeah. Now, do you guys want to read your own merch messages and then I go upstairs and prepare things so that we can have a
we can do that.
faster switch over?
Yeah, I can.
8%.
I can be Dan.
10 seconds.
What am I doing? Line up for dark?
Level 3.
That's the button. Okay, bye. Good luck.
Here's your birthday present.
Hit an egg.
Why is this also the?
Position there.
Uh,
You gotta throw some things at me.
I'm just gonna take one of these so that I can answer.
Watch the map.
I clicked broadcast. Did that do the thing? I think so. Hello, DLL is using macros for gaming cheating, such as entering a key combination, enabling a stratagem in Helldivers. As much as I just roasted people for cheating in Helldivers, because I just think it's sad. It's a PvE game. So, like, I don't really care. I really, really don't think that you should do it because that's part of the game. And, like, failing the key input is part of the game. So I think you're robbing yourself of the experience. But it's a PvE game, so, like, I don't care, personally. But it's also not very democratic. And you're not a patriot.
Got him.
Yeah.
All right, should we do some merch messages?
I just did one.
Oh, good job. Hi, DLL. Oh.
That's the one I did.
Last year, I installed solar on my house, says Andrew Q. With an EV, was close to net zero electricity. Linus, do you monitor your solar? If so, how has your electricity usage been with an EV and many electronics? I actually do monitor my solar.
Somebody go get it.
Occasionally. To give you some idea of how often it is, I forget what the app is called, but I do have it. I just need to find it. It's not very good in the winter because we don't get a lot of sun here in Canada, which is why the ROI point for solar in Canada, there's some parts of Canada that get sun, but in Vancouver, we definitely don't get enough to make it make a ton of sense. But in the summer, it's not bad. Dang it, I forget what it's called. It's one of those stupid apps where the name, it's not, you know, solar or, you know, energy app or anything like that. It just has some random stupid name and I have to remember exactly what it is. Like, okay, my pool, for example. The app for my pool, instead of being called Aqualink, is called iAqualink. So when I'm going through all the apps I don't really use all that often, I have to remember, right, the pool starts with an I for some reason that I can't possibly.
You're respawning that guy already? What the fuck?
I had no idea.
Okay, I had no idea, and that is super cool.
WAN Bingo Chronofied said, remind Linus he can rename apps in the drawer.
Get to me if you can.
I don't see an obvious way to do that. Details in store.
Listen up, the ring's moving.
How do you do that?
Select item? Okay, I'll select it.
Depends on your launcher.
Oh, okay, well, I don't have a custom launcher. I cannot find this. I'm sorry, this is very embarrassing.
Press hold on the app, should bring up an edit button. Yeah, so you
yeah. Well, I'll give up.
Fake news.
Stop. If I find it, I'll let you guys know. In the meantime, we might have to move on to the other one. But basically, on my best days, I'm about neutral, and most days
Get to me.
I'm still paying for electricity very much so.
Give my shields a recharge.
This is driving me absolutely bonkers right now. The fact that I cannot find this. Oh, it's probably not on here. I probably had it on my full. I think I probably just haven't bothered to install it on here because it doesn't matter that much. Oh, you know what? I think Home Assistant. Let's try this one. Okay, Home Assistant. Let's go. Energy. Let's go. Yes. Okay. So today the total was wow, that's it. 6.1 kilowatt hours from my solar, meaning I drew over 100 kilowatt hours from the grid. Nice. However, I could pick a summer day. Let's go back to last summer. So, I don't know, arbitrarily August 23rd. There we go. So on that day, oh wow. When I said that I was even on some days, that was a big lie because that was 27.7 from the solar. but
We
still
should
over
stay here with the high ground,
100
though.
from the grid. I have no idea what was going on that day.
Give my shields a recharge.
Occasionally, I see big spikes where it's obvious that I was like charging my car. Like here's one where I get home after work, and the blue is yeah. I'm very much charging my car. Yeah. It makes a small difference. Not much. Okay. Here we go. What's next? Oh, right.
Watch them
Dan's right
coming up
here.
and over.
Yeah, do you want me to read them out? It's up to you.
No, 'cause
Right now I'm curating potentials.
yeah, why don't you do that and I'll read them out. We got this. How did we ever do this by just ourselves?
I think I read them out.
We didn't have this messages before we had to. I just mean, how did we do the WAN show
Yeah,
before
but
we
I
had
don't think the producer originally did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe they did.
Anonymous asks, how's Karen's Chrome PC office coming along? And sorry for not suggesting it. To my knowledge, we haven't really made any progress because I think we were trying to source some really wild stuff for it, and we expect that to take a little while. Victor asks, can we sponsor Luke to gush about games on air? I mean, given how much he mostly hates games, I mean, you seem to hate a lot of them.
Baldur's Gate 3's pretty good. Got him! Let's go!
So if your name is Larian Studios, then $0.
No, I mean, I gush about games all the time. Helldivers is fantastic. Baldur's Gate 3 is really good. Balatro came out of nowhere as a Slay the Spire hyper nerd. That game is awesome. Very excited about that. Games have been pretty good for quite a while now. I feel like we're out of the slump. This is kind of what I was talking about. I feel like the old big companies, honestly, people just kind of ignore them now. Like Assassin's Creed Mirage came out, you didn't hear people hate on it. You also didn't hear people like it a lot. Just nobody cared.
Even Sea of Thieves was in the news for like 2 days.
Sea of Thieves last
I saw as someone.
Summit, like single.
Anyone got a bunch of
that game relevant for a decent
grenades? Anyone?
was like able. I'm seriously though, because Twitch streamers
Move
can
back to
do that. They
me.
can, like, drag a game on.
Because
But
they're
other
gonna
than
have to
Summit,
come through here.
Check your sectors. Another squad
Yeah, but to talk about another pirate game, I don't even remember the name of it right now.
Move back to
The
me.
one Ubisoft just released, the quadruple A game. Skull and Bones. There we go. People were like, including myself. Like,
Sorry, I meant Skull and Bones. I totally flipped
okay.
that. Yeah, Skull and Bones.
So yes, I completely agree.
Not Sea of Thieves.
Sea of
My bad.
Thieves stayed relevant.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
I meant Skull and Bones. Yeah.
Skull and Bones. Yeah.
It was like 3 days in my newsfeed, and then it was gone.
It's
Completely
just
gone.
uninteresting. And before, like, you know, Halo 5 comes out, and people are mad for like months.
Yeah, Halo Infinite. People are still mad.
for a long time. But I think people are getting to the point where they're just like, whatever, just
Indifferent.
Now all these new companies are stepping up, making really good games. Some indies are coming out and just killing. BattleBit was a huge success. Balatro is a huge success. Dave the Diver, massive success. There's other ones that I'm forgetting right now, but they've been killing it. Baldur's Gate 3 killed it. Helldivers killed it. Elden Ring, massive. Amazing success. Palworld, insane. Games are just like over and over and over again, breaking player limits on Steam, breaking sales limits on Steam. It just, things are actually really good right now, and I think it's largely studios that are not in the original big grouping are releasing bangers.
Where's this team at?
Players are more willing to buy games that aren't just from like these original big companies.
The funny thing for me is even that some of the big traditional players are doing great. Like when Sony announced those layoffs, they also announced like record profits.
In certain areas, though, if I remember correctly, the layoffs that happened were with a studio that did not. I think that was Forspoken. That's the name of the game. It did not do very well, as far as my understanding goes. And I think they laid off like that studio, or dispersed them within the company. I don't necessarily know. It was your take on City Skylines 2. It's not really so much my game, my type of game, but the City Skylines fans are really hardcore. I'm assuming they like it.
They're pretty mad.
Oh, okay.
The game's super demanding, and in a lot of ways, it doesn't live up to the full experience of the previous game because it had like 10 years of modding.
This is a rough point of those types of games, and if you're a fan of that type of game, release a couple expansions, and then it's like really sick.
Like the next Anno game's in trouble.
They're getting picked up. They're getting picked up. They're getting picked up.
Outstanding. So much fun. And it got like 6 seasons of DLC or something like that. Not just cosmetic crap or whatever. But like dramatically improves the game. Yeah, like the first expansion was awesome.
The whole new world, the Arctic expansion is sick. The whatever that jungle kind of one is great.
And so Anno, whatever is coming next, it's gonna suck by comparison.
Yeah.
For probably a while.
I like playing SnowRunner with my dad. They're releasing a text.
I don't even know how to fuck. What the fuck is wrong with this game?
It's probably not good.
Holy fuck, we won! What the fuck?
That's okay.
Good job, brother! I guess I did enough even with my mistakes. I guess I did enough even with my mistakes to get a win out there, baby.
Not so into the districts, but I also know people that love Civ 6, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where everything we're saying is kind of a generalization. Like there are going to be preferred entries in the series.
Absolutely.
But we just mean in general, when you follow up something that had many
I guess
years
I
of
did enough to
fixes and
get my team to win out there.
Xcub
in some
NZ
cases
says,
mods,
you
extra
sucks.
content.
Scrappy
You can't, like,
DP
GTA
says,
6,
thanks.
man, no matter how good that game is,
The online experience
Scrappy
is gonna
DP
be,
says,
will
love
not
you too.
live up to GTA 5 Online.
That's called a
Or
champion
GTA
right
Online, I guess they
there.
call it, but you know what I mean. The online experience that GTA 5 ultimately morphed into that is far beyond what I expected.
Pitboy is saying, give us a little feeder on the Starfield review vid. This is it, actually. The Starfield review vid, I'm going to talk about Starfield almost not at all. That's a closed book. The game's garbage.
Got him.
What I'm going to be talking about is this stuff. Is the industry is moving, and as much as I'm going to sit here and mourn the loss of some of my like favorite things, like I do not expect the next Elder Scrolls game will be like worth playing at all, which sucks.
That's bold.
But unless they make dramatic changes in that studio, it's not going to happen. I don't know. But there's sick games coming out that are really fun. I'm having a great time playing new stuff. My era of like, I played Morrowind. I went back and played the games before Morrowind. I played Oblivion. All like this. Oh my god! All of these things are amazing, and I can just like guarantee that the next one coming out is going to be sick. That's kind of over, but that doesn't mean that good games are over. So.
Are you ever going to finish Final Fantasy VI?
Yes, I will. I'm trying to right now figure out why my computer's blue screening multiple times a day.
What? It's having problems again?
Completely new problems. RAID port 0, something.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Very confusing.
Did you get moss in your fan?
It doesn't seem to be related to overheating.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still trying to figure it out.
All right. Well, bummer.
Get ready, moving out.
Unless they're talking about the sequel.
Unlikely.
Is cursed with personal versions? I wasn't until the AMD challenge started. I never had it. But now I'm not on an AMD card anymore, so I can't talk about that.
Chad asks, hey DLL, Alien Special Edition is the best. Aliens Special Edition. Oh, okay, yeah. Cargo pants when? I don't know. We are at, I should say we're at least 2 to 3 months out because we haven't started mass production yet. But they're going to be pretty similar to this, and they're not going to be cheap. All the pockets and everything ended up significantly contributing to the cost of this particular garment. And our order quantity is not super high because we haven't had like a smash hit in pants yet. And so we're taking a fairly conservative approach to ordering. So there'll be a bit of a low volume tax. But they're really nice. I really like them. Richard says, thanks LTT and team. Question for Linus if he gets it. What treats do you like to give your cats? Oh, we're really bad. We just give them like Friskies, like the name brand ones that are probably full of garbage and gonna kill them or whatever. We don't give them to them often, but they do like them. Sometimes we'll put them in like 3D printed stimulus toys that are fun to play with, and they like can try to get it out of it. But I like giving them catnip, even though I know you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like bad for them. It's like drugs, right? It like messes them up a little bit. I don't know. It's fun.
Drug.
It's funny. It's really funny. They get all weird and affectionate and roll around and stuff.
So it's E.
Yeah.
For cats.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Temptations. That's the one. Jay sit on in Floatplane chat. Are the 3D printed toys safe for them to be chewing and licking? They don't. They're not dogs. Like they're like fidget toys. Like they have like spinny bits, or they have little like sliders that they can try to get the food underneath. It's fine. Apparently the nip is perfectly fine. Some people are saying occasionally it's fine. Natural is fine. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Someone told me at some point that it's not the best. I'm gonna give it to them anyway because I don't give a f. So there you go. Sorry, bad pet dad. Roderick says, if you were forced to use a monitor where all of its specs were as low as they can go, but you could choose one spec to be top of the line, which would it be? Size, refresh rate, color accuracy, etc. Ooh. It depends what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If it's for gaming, it's going to have to be a top-of-the-line refresh rate. But am I allowed to also have top-of-the-line pixel response times? Because if I have the fastest refresh rate and trash pixel response times, that'll suck.
Everything's just a blur.
Then, if I have to pick one, then it would be pixel response times. Unless it's for anything other than gaming, in which case it's going to be color. Color. Ooh, but size. Hold on.
Minimum size.
For
How
work,
small is that?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, these days I would say
17
like.
these days, probably.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Probably not going to be size then, though.
Garad asks, have you looked at the plug-in hybrid Chrysler Pacifica? Yeah, I almost got it when we bought our Odyssey. It was coming soon, and I didn't want to be the first person to buy a Chrysler all-new model. So I was like, this looks super cool. This is right up my alley, plug-in hybrid. I could do a lot of my, just putting about, dropping kids off at lessons on electric. Totally my jam, right? Chevy Volt guy. But it's a Chrysler. And this is the very first one. I don't even know if they had a plug-in hybrid before that. Oh, no, they must have, because they're also under General Motors, but I don't know that Chrysler specifically had done anything. Yeah, I don't believe in first gen. Even an established product line, I don't want an all new. I don't want an all new. I want the facelift, or I want the last one before the facelift, or the second one after the facelift. I forget what like the ones are, but I don't want an all new. I know that for sure. Apparently, no, Chrysler's not GM. It's Fiat Chrysler. That's right. Sorry. My bad. I think there's one dealership locally that does Chrysler and GM, and so I get that confused sometimes. Yeah. So I would just, nah. I was not into that.
Oops.
What's up?
I just curated something that there's like two of the same thing for. So.
Nice. Anonymous says, being water resistant, how does the LTT hat hold up to head sweat compared to the standard version? Well, what I would imagine is that it would not pass through it as easily, but I would have to get back to you on that. I have no idea how to do anything with respect to following this up, so maybe someone will see it and we will update the product page at some point, but I would say that if you sweat a lot and your main concern when it comes to your head getting wet is from the inside, then you should just get the regular cotton one and save yourself $20. And it'll be like very breathable, and that'll be good. Michael says, if the government forced you into one of the currently vacant non-tech focused public service jobs, what would you be excited to do? And what side jobs would you do to actually pay the bills? So I'd be a teacher, he'd be a firefighter. So do the trouble.
Thanks.
As for side jobs, man, I feel like, you know what? I was looking into this recently. I feel like I'd figure out stuff where I can buy a small piece of equipment and then turn that into like a recurring profit at home.
A rental?
Yeah. No, actually. What I had in mind was more along the lines of like you can buy, there's this really weird Chinese company, Vivor, and they have kind of everything. Like they have ultrasonic cleaners and they have like super high pressure compressors. I don't know how trustworthy they are. Like the reviews are like, oh yeah, this compressor like works pretty good as long as you know, make sure you're like supervising it really carefully, because otherwise it'll explode if it goes too high and it doesn't have a safety cutoff. And also like I had to redo the oil in it when it first arrived because it like wasn't sealed right, and like anyway. But I was gonna, before I realized how dangerous that thing was, I was thinking, oh, that would be like a cool side hustle for like my kid. It's like, hey, you know, here, learn to run a business. I will invest, you know, the cost of this high pressure compressor thing. You're responsible for having a web presence and for handling, you know, client communications and for actually fulfilling people's tank filling requests. And you could use it to fill, probably not scuba tanks, but you could use it to fill airsoft or like air gun or paintball gun high pressure air tanks. And so I could see myself doing stuff like that. So making small investments like into a these guys, into like a badminton stringing machine, and then streaming badminton stringing machine and stringing people's rackets for them and stuff like that. And man, these guys got everything. So yeah, don't go to cleaning equipment. Just go to like the main site. It's like super weird company, man. Like, is that a milking machine or like what the fuck am I even looking at here? Is that a lawnmower? I don't even.
Yeah, what is this?
I don't even know.
It's like a still.
I don't even know. Prices as low as $68. A curb ramp. Like, would I trust a jack from these guys?
I would not trust this.
Right? Like, the lowest price ever. Oh, good.
I don't know if I want that from a jack.
Yeah.
Just 10 seconds.
What?
Yeah, weird company, dude.
Multi-effect deep detox, temperature control and timer, foldable and portable sauna blanket for infrared heating. Okay.
Jaws 14 said I literally had their sauna heaters open in Chrome already. Yeah, we just have some of everything. Anonymous says, hey Dan and the talent.
Christoph Popo says,
Well, I tried to do what I did do there. Sorry.
I want to get us some merch. While flying, man, I would take the Dropout. That hoodie is awesome.
The Dropout's just so cool.
And I mean, if you're going maximum comfort and you just don't give a fuck about what you look like, pick up the pajama pants.
Yeah.
They are so comfortable.
Also that, yeah. I second both of those.
Yeah, like if I just wanted maximum comfort, I would probably just go that route. I mean, there's always the onesie if you're totally shameless.
What's the scenario that you're in? Is this...
They're flying.
Flying? Yeah. You can have some printing issues with the
Yeah, but you could wear the merino underwear and that would keep the print
there you go.
Contained. Well... Really gotta brag about that on a live stream? What's wrong with you? What's your problem?
That's all.
What's your problem?
I just don't wear those in public places.
Yeah, you wear them to work.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, because I told you not to. Yeah. Okay, McDaniel says, Linus or Luke tried Quake Champions. I stand by being the best shooter around at the moment. Similar gun control, but much faster movement and no aim assist.
Oh, thanks.
I tried it. I would probably
Scrappy
enjoy that. I
DP says,
love Quake and its Quake derivatives.
Yeah, there's some people. Other people buy here?
Yeah, I feel
careful.
Ryan S. says, I was able to play super checks with my fiance for the first time this week. She was playing it similar to Freezeball, all power, no finesse. Any tips for how to consistently win? Defense. 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 It's all about cutting down the angles. So you basically have to look at whatever part of your net is exposed. You put your goalie in whatever the most likely spot they are to hit is, and then you get a player in between the puck and the rest of the net. And you can... Our games tend to be very tight checking games. I
specifically remember one conversation
I think we go all the way. I think we go all the way.
that you, after the conversation, were semi-regretting having, where we were discussing how to block certain shots. And that conversation, I think, was quite the inflection point in like the quality of overall gameplay.
Yeah.
Because we went back and forth a bit on like...
I outmeted him for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And then, because neither of us is that into that, whenever he outmetas me at something, he explains what he's doing. And whenever I outmeta him at something,
we both just generally want to be better.
We'll win some games.
Yeah.
If we figure something out.
Yeah.
But then we'll be like, hey,
once you've kind of got it unlocked.
The reason I'm scoring with my left winger, like every game, all the time, is because you're moving this guy this way, and you should be moving him this way. Nowadays, you either have to get lucky and you just like start hitting hard and hoping it like bounces off something and goes in. There's some of that. There's some of that in real hockey too.
100%.
Or you gotta make a good play.
Try to do a pass. So instead of just like I have the puck, I shoot it at the net.
Yeah.
Try to like, you know, they're guarding one angle because your player has the puck. Instead of shooting at the net,
we don't push them so much.
Ready and smack it right when it gets to you, so they don't have time to react and move their players and stuff.
Also, you just generally got to work on your muscle memory. Manage your
6
goalie.
squads left.
That's
We got to
big
keep
one.
moving.
Is whenever the puck's on this side, get your goalie to that side, and then
you
proceed to
guys.
play. And then when it moves to the other side, get it over there, get back, just keep your goalie so that
Probably not even
he's
booted up yet, are
cutting
you?
down on the angles.
Yeah.
Daniela, hey, Lane, Lindsay, and Delilah. As a Floatplane subscriber for a long time, I feel like I've missed out on all the Dennis ads that appear in videos. Could we get a Floatplane compilation of them like this shit? That's a really
What
good
could
idea.
be really fun too is like Dennis going over like his like favorite.
That's what we get in the building and
That's a super good idea. I will send that to Artie. Dennis presents his favorite Dennis ads.
They're blue. Or at least the one that peaked was.
Idea for a Floatplane is
They pushed
where
past
Dennis
that.
says the host and shows them some of the best creative sponsor spots that he's done because they don't see them. Alright, yeah, it's a really good idea.
I think there's only 2 of them.
Antonio says,
Yeah,
hey,
it seemed like there was
Linux,
only
Luke
2.
Skywalker, and Dirty Dan. With the retirement of MatPat, what are your thoughts on YouTubers retiring and the impact theorists have had on the gaming community and game development? So thoughts on YouTubers retiring, man.
They're pushing me because I'm broke.
I've been tempted myself many times. I mean, I've said, guys, I'm not doing this for the money anymore. I don't need more of it. I do have a tendency to develop greater ambitions. Once I've achieved what I have, Yvonne calls me insane.
We push him back. We push him back. He's got to come around the edge.
But I assure, I swear, the badminton center's the last thing. No, it's the last thing.
Knock one.
It's the last thing, Luke. The lab still is not done. And the badminton center's
Let me get him. Let me get him. You cover. You cover. You cover.
Any more massive projects?
I don't believe you. What I do somewhat is that at the very least a pause on purchasing, which will limit the ability to do certain things. I know part of me is not gonna aspire to more. That is just hilarious, to be completely honest. What that more is.
What the fuck? There's one beneath. There's one beneath us here.
He might be able to word craft.
Fuck! I didn't see that guy coming. There goes my back to back.
There's something we're already doing. Sure.
I feel like I'm just getting completely roasted right now, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna use the labs team and this other something thing to make extremely high-end pool toys or something. It's like, okay, sure, dude.
It would be cat toys before pool toys, but
Sure, yeah. But you're like, it's not an expansion because we use the labs team to design it, and we use the creator warehouse team to make it. Yeah, it's just like,
well, what's wrong with that?
So you've built all the teams that you need to build to do whatever you want,
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
like, now I'm not expanding. No, that doesn't count.
That counts.
No.
No, that's legit. We're going to stop product development? It's all a tax write-off.
Yeah.
As for MatPat's impact, I mean, yeah,
Massive.
Man, create the creative industry, just yeah, sure, gaming, but honestly, I think he's been in some ways more influential to people who have watched him and not necessarily gone into gaming or game development. He's just been an icon.
And that's
one of
just
those
a
guys
theory.
like the Green Brothers, where you're just like an innovator. Is the word that I would use to describe him. I've only had the pleasure of meeting him twice, I want to say. But he's one of those people that A, is exactly the way that you expect him to be based on seeing him on camera, and B, somehow still manages to surprise you, if that makes sense. Charles says, hey, DLL, I recently became a father, and WAN helps keep my sanity through the sleepless nights the last few Fridays. What is a piece of advice you wish someone had told you when you became a parent? Just be firm. Be firm and never, ever break ranks. The second you and your SO say anything that contradicts the other, you are done. They will find that tiny gap in the armor and they will wedge their way into it. And I don't mean that they're evil. I just mean that they're people. Yeah. Little people. Annoying people. Beautiful people. But they're people. They're smart. So watch out. And doesn't matter how smart you are, because remember, they're your genetic junk. They're every bit as smart as you are. Anonymous says, hey, parasocial figments of my imagination. You've said before that you try to only make products if you can add value to the market. So it feels like there are several quality cable brands. So my issue with cables is that they're often not available in the lengths that I want. And cable management is something that's a bit of a personal, passion of mine. I like tidiness. I like order. And ours will be available in between lengths.
Found.
The other thing that we're going to do really well is cut out the BS. So instead of super ultra mega speed, our cables will simply be labeled with the maximum data rate that they can handle and with the maximum power that they can carry. That's it. No BS, just excellent cables. I also haven't seen many, if any, cable manufacturers use super high quality silicone sleeving. Apple used to have some cables like that, but they haven't done them in a long time. I've seen it in DIY electronics cabling and wiring rather, but seeing it in actually finished cables is pretty rare. So between the quality of the cables, the availability of middle lengths for optimal cable management, and the just no BS labels, I think that there's an opportunity for us to make a difference. Anonymous says, hey Linus and his two carers. Just curious to know which rig you've had the most fun building at LTT. P.S. More of the janked water cooling guy, please.
I am both shield and
the
sword.
Most fun. Ugh. I don't know, because there's a fine line between fun and derangement.
Hello, Scrappy DP.
I almost feel like we have that video coming very soon of us reflecting on our favorite builds.
So I curated this as a call out for that video, basically. So.
Well,
no
nothing is not
hablo
predictable.
We
español.
got there.
We got there. The mineral oil PC was just sheer
Nothing
joy.
much. Just
It wasn't
lost
that
the
hard.
game.
It was just.
Hope I can win this one.
Let's go to the pet store and buy a castle and put it in a computer. Right? It was.
We already knew how to do it. We had
Yeah.
a kit. It wasn't.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of fun
I always
stuff,
come
though.
back to that one.
Man, and some of it's just wow, even less purpose. I did that one where we had a heat sink, an air cooler heat sink, and we just ran water over it. We put it in water to see.
Water cooler.
Can you water cool air cooling? Right,
heat
that's just fun. It's just fun. Did we build a computer? Really? I don't know. More, we ran a science fair experiment, but if we weren't having fun, we wouldn't do it. Hey, speaking of fun. we did how to clean your water cooling recently, and it ended up being a really fun video.
That's cool.
We were going to do it, and then a toothbrush sponsor wanted to work with us on a sponsored video. I went, holy shit. The timing of this is unbelievable because we were just going to do a like how to clean your water cooling thing, and we weren't really sure if there'd be enough of an audience for that, so it wasn't a high priority, even though we did want to do it. And then things got even better because one of my favorite degenerates that works here, David, who doesn't take care of his stuff, which you guys would have seen in his Intel Extreme Tech upgrade, hasn't touched those water cooled systems since I built them.
For you.
Some scary stuff in them. So we combined checking in on a previous upgrade with how to clean your water cooling.
Spike planted.
We needed to do a sponsored thing for like a super high vibration rate electric toothbrush, and it ended up being like a really good video. It's informative, it's fun and funny, and it's sponsored. So hey, keep the lights on.
Yeah,
well, I mean, not very on.
Yeah.
It's when for us dark, but
only a little bit.
On a little bit.
Yeah.
We gotta pay Dan somehow. I mean, he. Oh.
He is off.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah. I'm taking that for them.
Last player standing.
Yo, I'm trying to fix my audio right now, so if I go AFK, bro.
Have you considered doing similar real-world reviews with other work-battered items like you did with the miner's backpack? No, that just kind of happened by chance. It's kind of a cool idea, but I don't think it's the sort of thing that we'll go out of our way for. If you want to see people's real-world reviews, lttstore.com is chock full of them. Like, if you ever have any doubt in the product, feel free to, you know, peruse the reviews where you will find lots and lots and lots of real-world impressions of our products. There's over 8,000 reviews for the LTT screwdriver, many of which include photos, or some of which include photos. I shouldn't say many. They can include photos. A lot of people don't use the feature.
Yeah, they're all C guys.
Yeah.
Man, every once in a while I'll just sit and like read reviews. I can't even keep up. Look at this. All of these are from the 6th of March.
Well, then get to C.
Okay, so we're on March 5th here.
Spike planted.
Already did.
From March the 5th. Okay, now we're on to March the 4th.
Last player standing.
People are really passionate about this product. Even the ones that aren't 5-star
You're good.
are like,
They don't have a
dang,
single life
I
worth
really
saving.
appreciate the behind-the-scenes decision. This is a reflection of the dedication of the quality of LTT. Like, I can't read all the amazing, wonderful things that people say about our screwdrivers.
Not 5-star one includes a line saying, "I signed up for the precision screwdriver."
Exactly. Oh man, I'm glad I can support great content with actual great products. Like, dang man, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I've dealt with all the incoming appraisals.
Nice.
I can read if you would like.
Want to participate for a change? How about I read one for you? Ryan
Sure.
G, if I buy this with my company card, is it a tax write-off?
Yes.
No.
B.
I'll use the mouse pad for work. Oh, then yes, maybe.
Spike
Partially,
planted.
maybe. Also, Luke, what's the hardest challenge you had to solve with
The hunt begins.
Payment processors.
That's been very annoying. I think
Wall
the
raised.
What the
biggest HR with the team size that we have. I can't really understate how crazy it is that we were able to pull that
We
off.
have a very talented team. Shout out.
It's actually kind of nuts. And
Last
any
player
time that,
standing.
like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get way too into it, but like,
This sucks.
building a new feature when you have like, yes, this individual person is responsible for all of the apps and all of the front end.
Yeah, and then we like know of other sort of creator, you know,
Might as well
platform
give them to
things, and
me.
they have a team of like a lot of people.
That do that entire team has less responsibilities than that one person, and the thing that it just
Has a lot of things that we're kind of like, oh, okay.
So
Not shouting out anyone in particular.
No.
Just our team is very talented and they're great.
yeah.
And you know what? Their leader's pretty great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Oh, you mean you?
Oh,
I mean,
you mean you?
no, I mean Taryn.
Oh,
No, I was just bugging you.
Be good. That would be right though.
Yeah, I'm not in their reporting path at all anymore.
Wait, is it?
Spike planted. The leader.
Is he?
No, hold on a second. Am I still CEO?
It's still you. Yeah! You're still CEO.
Oh, that's hilarious. I probably shouldn't be.
Last player standing.
No.
I never thought about this at all.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I'm back. I got my audio working. We lit. Alright, bro. Let's clutch up.
Okay. Elias says, "Hey Linus, have you switched to that Alienware AW2725DF monitor that you unboxed for short circuit? Dell wanted it back."
Yo, where y'all want me? Where y'all want me?
I haven't gotten one yet because I'm lazy. Also, it's really small, so my incentive to upgrade to it has been pretty low.
Y'all hear me?
I do want it.
Yeah, we can hear you. It is fine.
My bad, I was empty, bro. I was fixing some shit.
It's like I was
Through the
cheating.
storm, I fight.
It's so good.
It's so much money, and I'm like trying to get away from shooters right now because of how many cheaters there are.
Do it, you coward. Oh, it's like $700 or something. Oh. That's my next one.
Spike down A.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 Canadian dollars.
Enemy spotted A.
Yeah, dog.
One enemy remaining.
Not salary, but contract rate negotiations with someone today. And they told me their US number.
Healing you. Last enemy taken out.
Nice.
We'll see.
It's over with, man.
Man, look at these reviews, though. This monitor is true wow factor. Best monitor I ever owned. Astounding OLED monitor.
Wow.
OLED is the wave. It's the wave. This is almost as good as our screwdriver, Luke. Look at this.
That's genuinely pretty nice.
Actually, oh, well, hold on. It's sort by highest tool. God, that cannot be the default, Dell. What the f?
I'm gonna show y'all a real Marshall demon.
Okay, ours are sorted by most recent.
That's good.
Okay, so let's see what they end up with then.
Wait, is it
What
the
just
same?
happened? Did that just do anything?
I don't think so.
Oh my god. Most relevant. Hello? Okay,
Looks
that
like
one
there's you guys.
changed. Okay, most recent. I
Planning
should-
B, planning B,
Yes,
planning
B.
Is this? Okay, I don't know what this
Spike
happened here.
planted.
Was nobody B? They went straight in and planted.
It may be even better.
114 euro.
Reloading.
I know
This
exactly.
is, okay, other than DOA,
Yeah, I can't really
it
do
gets
that.
5
Which is
stars.
gonna happen.
It's packaging, so it's got a problem with it. Screen lottery risk, packaging. Again, anyone who gets a working one is
Yours
like
one
OMG,
Last
the best
player
thing ever,
standing.
and I back that up. Had to get a replacement. Literally every single one that isn't 5 stars.
Oh,
It's broken.
That's pretty epic. Someone said, doesn't Linus pay for computer stuff?
Human brains
for
are
the
hard to
tower.
replace.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
I'm not complaining.
I draw the
I'm
line!
not complaining. I'm not complaining.
I
But
draw the
yeah,
line.
monitors and peripherals and stuff I've always
See this right here? This is a
The
line.
Some of them sound hella scripted. Yeah.
Some of what? Oh, maybe. Yeah, sure. I mean, they might be fake.
We don't know.
Ours are not.
Yeah.
Mike says, I'm saving this gift card until I can buy an LTT tax write-off shirt in big and tall sizes. Linus, please tell me when I'll be able to see this. I'm not guaranteeing that.
Maybe an A push or
I guarantee nothing.
Okay.
But thank you for
There's one,
your tax liability.
I'll drop
gift
down.
card. It's not a tax liability. It's just a...
Hey.
My ultimate is
Because
ready.
it counts as an asset?
Spike
I can't
planted.
remember how it works, but gift cards
What the
are
fuck? Where'd I even get shot
sort of
from?
inconvenient in a sense. Like they're a liability when you count your business assets or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine though. Please buy gift cards or whatever.
Portal closed.
Igor says, just got a job as a computer teacher.
Last
Teenagers
player
and adults.
standing.
Aside from PC building, important skills for PC builders. I really want to light a fire in students. Troubleshooting. The rush of solving a problem
Deep breaths,
is
everyone.
one that can't
Your
be
hearts are
under,
pounding.
can't be over, what it shouldn't be under.
Where was who's?
It's good. Yeah.
They might
I
do
think
a B push again.
Security
Okay.
focused lesson where
They might do A push
you
or
make it
C
like
push.
the students
They might do
You
it.
gotta
deep
push.
I don't know trying to teach kids security stuff and trying to make it fun could be kind of cool. Like maybe you could have split the team into split the class into like 4 teams or something, and give them like, they have to like send emails to each other and they have to be able to predict which email is like sketchy or something. I don't know. Be interesting. It would need some.
Yeah, there are 2 on
if you could find some way to teach
pushing
kids
up
good, internet usage practices in regards to security, that would be super valuable for them. And if you could find a way to make it fun.
Spikes down.
Spike
C.
down.
Tax tips. I'm Chaz.
Spike spotted.
What are some odd things you've seen wired up to a computer? I.e., I'm wiring up
Are they all on
car
site?
stereo from the 2010s to my PC for audio and CD/MD playback.
Your duty is not over.
That's an odd one. Alex wanted to run a subwoofer.
One
off
enemy
of a computer
remaining.
power supply for some reason. He wanted to put the computer into a sub enclosure. We didn't actually.
She's chasing me! She's chasing me!
Cigarette lighters are one of the funny ones from the
peek.
early 2000s. You could get 5 1/4-inch bay like cigarette lighters.
Good shit.
Good shit.
I have personally just run power out of my computer for fans that are not actually in the computer, or lights that are not actually in the computer, that are just somewhere else, because it was just convenient, because it was a Molex connector, and I was like, here we go.
It's my first game
I
on.
mean, power's power, right?
I ain't no joke.
Give it to the
So
people.
much.
Christopher, hey LLD,
I ain't
first time
even
buyer.
about just straight
My
call.
partner and I can't wait to read this to our baby, who's arriving in a few weeks.
Anyone
Heck
gonna
yeah,
go
ABC's
see your
gaming,
view?
let's go. Any tips for managing screen time for young kids as ours grows up?
Who's next?
Don't use it as a crutch. The biggest
come back
obstacle
right
to
now.
managing
Or
kids'
circle.
screen time is parents. You have to learn. You have to be disciplined enough to force them to be disciplined enough to not just stare at a screen. Your kids are going to scream and
Spike
cry in a
down
restaurant.
A.
So, you have 2 options. You can have a pleasant meal in your phone, or you can soldier it out. You can grab your kid, take them out of the not like this. I just meant grab your kid,
No shade.
take them out of the restaurant. I used to do this all the time. Your food's gonna get cold. Your steak is gonna get tough.
Pretend to
And you are not
80
eating it.
breach.
You sit them down outside the restaurant, and you
They're
go,
in the tree
the way you're behaving is
area.
not okay.
Nice.
Planning.
Like being out here?
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Want to be out here?
That's one tree.
He's low. He's ahead of Medi.
Last player standing.
But he has an op. So
You need to stop
you gotta
the noise you're
move with
making.
that.
He's
That's
there.
not okay.
Just to your right.
Nobody wants to hear that. And when you're done, we can go back inside. If it takes too long, you go back inside. You leave them there. You stand there. You watch
How did
some
I not
TV,
get it to
and
half?
No one's gonna
This is
take off with
bullshit.
your kid or whatever.
Good job.
Still, you can pick up that off for me, brother.
An hour. That's
Pick up the.
what they learn is when you say, you will eat this food,
It's over with.
you will do it
We
quietly.
are Valorant. We are fighting.
I'll buy you.
That's what will happen. They can have a lot of tears in between,
Oh, shit, man.
or they can yell, or they can do whatever. But that's what's going to happen. I mean, I've never had to hit my kids. Never had to, like, be...
Yo,
Had
can you buy
to
yourself
hit
this
your
round,
kid.
and if you die, I'll buy you next round so I can buy shit.
Whatever we say will happen, and we will wait you out. And it has been so effective.
I've seen some of it.
Time. Yep. And I don't mind putting them in a slightly unpleasant situation.
I also like
Reynolds there.
as a childless person, I kind of appreciate it because
They're on
if you
B
just sit
planting.
there, if you don't do the
Spike
phone
planted.
thing, but you just sit there and don't do anything, then it's just annoying for everybody else.
Yep.
So by like removing them from the scenario, it's like okay.
And there will be escalating levels of unpleasantness. Like, the first place I might put them when
I
they're not behaving
faked
at the
it.
restaurant is inside the restaurant, sitting at the front.
He stood in the corner and
While they
faked
do
it.
not get they want attention. So
Last player standing.
and then if they keep doing it, well, hey,
That's a wild crosshair.
next up
thing.
is outside.
Yeah, he said had to. He would never do that.
Yeah. I think some people justify it by saying that they had to. That they And I strongly believe that patience is the most powerful tool because they're not disciplined. They're kids. They are not patient. If you're willing to, you can always outlast them. Always.
It's the best fake I've
And like
ever
I said,
seen.
I'm not,
He
it's not that
stood
I'm
in the
not willing to
corner
put them in
and
an
it was a
unpleasant
fake.
situation. So at our old house, step 1 of timeout was the laundry room. Step 2 was through the door in the garage. And step 3 was out the back door outside. And I don't care what the weather is. I don't care how late it is. I don't care how
Spike
tired
down
you are.
A.
If I said, brush your teeth, you will brush your teeth. You will. And then when we're done, I say, okay, did I say brush your teeth?
You got bomb, bro.
Okay, did you brush your teeth? Yeah. Could that have gone a lot faster and a lot more pleasantly? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well then next time, why don't we do it that way? And you've got to be willing to stand.
One
your ground.
enemy
Yeah, I
remaining.
know sometimes. I could because my middle child was crying for
She got
over
bomb.
an hour in the food
Yeah,
court.
you got bomb.
No, she don't.
Because I said she
You
had
have
to take
bomb.
more
Oh, we got it.
and she didn't want to. And I felt awkward because she was overtired. I knew.
I'm like
I
that.
knew as soon as we were getting into it that she was overtired. She was overdue for her nap, and it had been kind of a long day. And realistically, it was like it was cranky.
Probably circling all the way around.
Or whatever.
30 seconds left.
But I had already said, you have to take one more bite.
So it's been stated. The word has been uttered.
And as soon as they find the gap,
now if I act overtired, I can get away with X.
10
they're
seconds
smart.
left.
They're too smart. And so, that's a big one. Is when they finally take the bite, huge positive reinforcement. Like that's really good too. Good signals and picking them up and,
Last round
like,
in the
whatever,
half.
right? Oh, and never bribe. That's another one. Always reward unexpectedly. Never, okay, we can get the toy if you eat your meal.
We're all broke, bro.
You will eat the meal.
Go B and
You eat
C.
it, you go,
Go B and
"Good
C. B and
job.
C.
Why don't we go get a treat?
Please, please go B
Never
and C.
treat up front. Never, 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 never.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point.
Yeah. Has there been any funny parenting story? I mean, I thought the one in the IKEA was pretty funny.
I thought it was pretty good.
Terrible. There was the one time my eldest,
B and
he
C.
was very shy, almost made us miss a ferry because we were at the park playing.
Oh, they're here
As
today.
we were leaving.
Beats me.
He had borrowed a toy from another kid, like a little truck or something.
Who's
And
next?
I
Wait,
said,
Randy,
okay,
lay off, by the way.
go give the toy back and thank him for letting you borrow it.
Spike planted.
And he went and he put the truck down and said, hey, thank that boy for lending me this toy. And
Time to jump.
And he cried because he just had this sort of this petrification.
90 open.
So shy sometimes. He will be f***ing polite.
Somebody go on
And he'll be a
backside.
decent f***ing
Last
guy.
player
I
standing.
don't care
One
how shy
enemy
you are.
remaining.
If somebody does something for you, you will thank them.
Nice, good
Good
fucking
shit.
shit.
And
I got
that
you.
was one of our biggest battles. It was also one of our last ones because he was getting to the age where
He's kind of getting it.
it was he
Nice.
was getting it, and we made that ferry by like 30 seconds.
Switching
It
sides.
was barely, and we were at that park, and my wife's like, "We're gonna miss this
I
ferry."
just realized
Like,
that.
It was important for some reason.
It was
Redo
important
it.
for some reason.
Yeah.
We
It
had
could
to
be
make
good
this
for all-
ferry.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, then you better get with me on convincing him to go thank that kid. And I think our compromise was that she got to play good cop a little bit, which you must always agree on. If someone's going to be good cop and someone's going to be bad cop, you agree, you take turns. But she was going to be good cop and she was going to go
Yeah,
win.
my boy.
She didn't hold his hand all the way there. She didn't talk for him.
Just here
But she
to have an
went- she
amazing,
stood behind
beautiful,
him,
wonderful
which
gaming
gave him the
experience.
confidence
Got some
to that he needed.
reinforcement. Someone's got your back. That makes sense.
Yep, yep. But
Cool.
once we say you will do it, you will do it. So now the kids are just like, you say something, and they're gonna do it because they know they will. So I could do it now. Or there could be like a big fight, consequences, and it could suck.
Wonder how this is
Watch
gonna
out for
go.
tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. We already see it.
Enemy spotted.
It's and the thing is, you've got to be ready for that. Your authority is not always going to be absolute. We're already having that conversation with the eldest, where we're going like, look, you are going to be making a lot of your own decisions ongoing here. A lot more of your own decisions over time.
Last
and
player
so we start
standing.
to involve him in them. Like he had a bit of a persistent injury.
We know that
and
one is.
really
Should have
wanted
killed that
to,
one.
keep
Instead of
him
having to deal with all three at once.
But we have some concerns about developing a chronic injury before you're even an adult. And we're basically like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna tell you what you're gonna do.
Y'all go see our figure.
Outline
You're a
all the
hunter.
different
You gotta hunt.
possibilities and all
You
the
heard him.
different options.
Getting that
We're gonna
orb.
tell
You gotta
which
go
one
hunt
you
him.
think you should do, and then you are going to make a decision. So you have
Y'all
to
wanna
start
do
going through
our
those
fake A,
processes
y'all go
with them
see?
because
Slow push though, like
otherwise you're
5
not
seconds.
really equipping them for the future when they will have to make their own
No.
decisions.
That's a terrible idea. Nobody has guns. That's like the terrible
Yeah,
idea.
so we kind of go, okay, look, you can stay doing exactly what you're doing. The pro is that you enjoy it, you're going to improve. The con is that you might not improve at the rate that you think you're going to, because having an injury can affect your form. It can affect your performance in game.
Consistency.
It can affect you mentally. It doesn't make people happy to not be improving, right? You can go cold turkey, which I think will be best for your recovery. Or we also presented the option of training on an adjusted schedule at a lower rate, and he ultimately made his own decision. And that's the next part, is you have to respect it, even if he makes the
Be careful,
wrong one.
fake showers come.
Kind of need to go through that too. So.
And realistically, guys, I get the opportunity to talk a lot about the things that go right, and I get to put my own spin on it. I'm sure there's times that my kids have
Last
been
player
unhappy,
standing.
and I'm sure there's days that
What
everything
the fuck?
could backfire. The strategy that works for one kid does not necessarily work for another. So don't take all of this as just like, oh yeah, Linus thinks he's a perfect parent. I don't. I make all kinds of mistakes. Everyone does. Be ready for that.
Even with numbers, anything can still
That's a
happen.
big one. Apologize.
Remember that.
Seriously, when you get something wrong, say sorry. Man, I felt bad when I was so tired of reminding the kids on weekends to brush their teeth in the morning, because they do it automatically on the weekdays, but they just get distracted and forget in the mornings on weekends. And I came up and the girls hadn't brushed their teeth, and I basically went, okay, no treats this weekend at all. Nothing with sugar in it, period. I didn't realize one of them was going to a birthday party that day. Oh. But I said it. Now that I've said it, it is said. So she got no cake. She got no treats. I felt terrible. And I know this happened because Yvonne went to the party with her. She got nothing. You know
Spike
what?
down
You know how many
A.
times she's missed brushing her teeth? Goose egg.
That makes sense.
But I apologized. I said sorry. I wouldn't have said that if I had realized that you were going to a birthday party. And so kiss and make up, right?
Last player standing.
Behind that.
It's law. All right. Oh, this is the same one.
Stay alive.
There's a
what can
comment
we
in Pokemon chat. Mind Paradox said, my daughter tried scream shaming me into buying her candy in Walmart. When I said no, she threw herself on the ground and flailed hands and feet, screaming about how I never
And I
buy
can
her
get you an
I'm chaotic
operator.
neutral generally, so my response was to throw myself on the ground right next to her and scream, I can't afford to buy you
Nah, I'm feeling
everything you
bad.
want, while flailing my hands and feet. Her 4-year-old self was up in a flash, and from full-on tears to screaming to, Daddy, Daddy, please are looking. People are looking.
Play quiet. Let him push.
I pulled that one, so
We gotta win. We gotta win this one.
I was probably about 8.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was the one time I was spanked.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had the spike.
It's like a core memory.
Let's say you're so
my
loud.
dad immediately
Big ass.
dropped whatever groceries we had, grabbed me by the arm, took me to the car, gave me one good one, and went,
Who's
don't
next?
ever do that again. I didn't.
I remember, like,
But I don't agree that that's the way to do it. I'll give reminders. Like, this is one of my favorites. You've probably seen me do it.
I think so, yeah. That might have
But
looked
that's
lighter
easy.
than that, though.
Like
I've seen it. It's pretty light. Like
Yeah.
it's not no actual pain in it.
So I was inspired by watching like some kind of bird remind its young about something.
You get back in your shit.
So I was like,
yeah.
So when they forget like a please,
Turn that
or something
corner.
like
Turn that corner
and
so I can
don't
heal
wanna
you.
have to verbally
Fuck!
them
What's wrong with you?
I'll just give them a little double index finger tap on the head. And they're like, thank you, or or whatever it is.
I'm not healing anyone for the rest of this game.
Last player standing.
74.
My family did spanking. It was very
Damn.
common back then. My parents were very clear. But it was.
Oh, we can still come back.
Once we hit a certain age, it was very ineffective on my brother and I.
Oh, we good. We got it, bro.
We played a lot of combat sports. Contact sports.
Move in after I
So like
strike.
that type of. It's
That's
just it
when it's
didn't
weak.
matter. Once the hairbrushes and spoons started breaking, and we would just
Yes,
laugh.
sir. You're
That was like
KJ, I ain't gonna lie, next time I
the
would've waited.
damage being inflicted was significantly heavier on the
Sneak
other
up
end
behind him and
because they're
fucking
like
bleed.
trying to inflict punishment and you're just laughing amongst it. There was also one point in time where my brother did this, and then I copied him because I thought it was funny. We ended up doing the thing, to be clear. We weren't that bad of people, but my mom was like trying to get my brother to do something, and he just laid on the ground and was like, make me. Because he's like a huge football player, dude. He's like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, just to taunt them for a second, and they did it anyways because he's a good guy. But yeah.
Oh man.
It was great.
Okay.
Enemy spotted.
Evelyn.
See.
Hey, Wandilel. The curling team I coach made it to the league Bonspiel. What do you all do to manage performance anxiety after an important win and when the stakes are high? I haven't competed much in my life, like in competition. Obviously, life is a competition. But like at even like stupid recreational badminton tournaments and stuff, when it's a big match, not even at a tournament, even when I'm playing against like the people who are like realistically too good to play with me, and I like want to be
Just gonna let him go?
I
Let him
get
go.
all I
Yeah,
get,
let him go.
tense, man.
What the fuck
really
is
struggle
wrong
that.
with
I have
you?
no advice for you.
Bullshit.
My ult's ready.
Adrenaline shakes pretty bad.
I'll handle this.
I find if I'm doing... I never even knew this was a problem until I was a bit older, because whenever I was in
Last player standing.
sports,
Why was my knife out? Why was my knife out? Oh my
take
god.
care of itself. I don't know why. I guess the energy was being physically expunged enough that I didn't really get the shake so much. But if I was in
Match
like, I
point.
used to play Counter-Strike at a
know.
decent level. If
Why
I was
the
in
fuck
like a
would you
Counter-Strike
send it
tournament,
out?
my hand would just... And it was very frustrating. I don't know how I necessarily figured this
Alright,
out,
guys,
but
let's
eventually I
rush
was still
B
able to
on
make
all
shots
field.
while that was happening.
And do with a bang.
Just compensate.
Bro, we're gonna end it with a
Sheer force
fucking
of
bang.
will, let's go.
Brain figured it out somehow, but it was a
Okay,
concern
Frida, you
for a
can
while.
blind
Have
for your
fun.
flash of B.
Remember why you
I'm peeking A. Fuck
There's
you.
a-
Have fun.
I ain't gonna
There's a
lie.
bit of a trick
Alright.
where if you breathe in really deeply through your nose, and then when you've breathed in pretty much as much as you can,
We'll go A
second,
then.
and then you gotta breathe in a little bit more.
No, we're going.
I hit this bitch for 50.
You breathe out through your mouth. And it's calming. That can kind of pull you down a little bit. I've done that before. That can genuinely help. So yeah, people are giving it a bunch of different names in full play chat.
I know it.
Works for me.
33 Omen.
He got used to the pattern of the shakes. Maybe. I don't know what it was. It was a
122 Reno.
Compensation. Okay, so I have to draw a 7, but like this. Hopefully soon.
Defenders win.
It's a good game, boys.
I don't know. The store has grown a lot. The business has grown a lot over the years, and we haven't necessarily kept up in our processes. And we've got some consultants that started a little while ago that have a lot of experience in e-tail and business management and are going to be kind of helping the team. Taryn brought them in, and I'm pretty excited for some of the differences they'll be making. And I think just sort of inventory management is one of the things that we're going to be looking at how to do better. And that doesn't mean that we suck or we're stupid or anything like that. It just means like you're not born knowing anything,
I think
and it takes time.
I'm pretty excited about it because I think like we've promoted within a lot, which is cool. People like that. But it does mean that, I mean, a lot of people that work here have, at a career level of job, have only worked here. Like I would consider myself only really having worked here. I've had a ton of other jobs, but they weren't really career jobs. They were just jobs. So that means that we don't have a ton of experience in like how other companies do things, which sometimes means that we'll run into a problem and not really necessarily know what to do, which we might actually end up on the right answer, but it takes some triaging or some trial and error, and hopefully we'll end up there. Whereas sometimes people can just come in externally and be like, oh yeah, I've worked at like 5 different companies that are all like omega big. This is how they do it. And it's like, oh, okay.
Cool. Why
Nice.
reinvent a wheel?
Yeah.
It's a good wheel.
Sometimes it's worth it. Often it's not.
Yep, we've invented a lot of wheels that have been pretty good wheels, but sometimes there's a better wheel already.
Yep.
Josiah asks, hi, Mr. Tooltips and the gang. I recently loved the LTT video on the K-swap to the Synchro Q704, which I had to look up to remember what it is. It's that one with the One Connect power supply from Seasonic. Super, super cool. Wait, no, this isn't the right one. Oh yeah. This one. Yeah, exactly. This is the one. So it has that like power distribution thing from Alex's upgrade. Anyway, the point is, they ask, has he had any issues? Not that I know of. Also, can you do an SFF PC plus theater setup video? Honestly, if you have the space for it, I wouldn't recommend doing a small form factor for a theater, because you want it to be as quiet as possible, and small form factors tend to compromise on cooling. So if it was me, I would probably go with as big of a media sort of friendly looking enclosure as I could get away with, in order to have big fans in it that move a lot of air without spinning too fast. That would be the best advice that I could give. With that said, I definitely am going to do a video turning our original Steam Machine prototype into a home theater PC at some point. We still have it kicking around. I want to build like a rip and fast compact machine in it. So no, but yeah. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you again next time. Same bad time, same bad channel. Wait, don't do it yet. For Floatplane subscribers, assuming Dan has it working,
I don't know, maybe
there will be an after party today. You can join us for our not traditional. What's the word?
Is it not traditional?
Customary? Not customary. Give me some more words. Traditional, customary, ritual. Yes, ritual.
That works.
That's the one I want. Our weekly super checks ritual. Best of what?
5?
I mean, really? For the people?
For the people. My throat's in like a lot of pain, but maybe
inaugural.
Well, you have to decide ahead of time. You can't.
I
be like,
know.
maybe.
I hate this.
Well, you can't, because you can't decide what it's going to be out of midway through.
I feel like you can.
No, you can't. Not unless you're tied. But then after one game, you might not be tied anymore. So people are like best of 8. Come on, you.
What? No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let the people decide, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, let's not let the people decide. Let's let Luke decide. But he'll decide sometime between now and when we start.
Yeah. How about that?
All right.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess
at least 5. At least best of 5. Probably best of 7, but we'll see.
Okay, so what do we do now? I don't know how to end the show anymore.
I don't know if he wants it to be. He was talking about streaming from the other computer, so we might need to end the show and then start another one.
But that's okay, because we can spam notifications.
We're just sending a
Floatplane.
notification of Floatplane.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's what he wants to do, but I don't actually know. He hasn't come back down.
But I don't know how to end the show. Like, he doesn't have us end it anymore. There's a thing he does. No, you don't just press that.
I can probably go figure that out.
Okay. Well, I mean, no, you have to be here, though.
Oh, to say the thing.
Yeah, so, like, what do we do?
I can call Dan.
Okay. Let's do that. Speaking of rituals, I haven't heard from him during the show, so I actually have no idea what his status is.